Check, 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 check. Let's make it funky. We're just a few minutes away from getting things started right here. It's the DJ Hans Shit Show, DJ Edition Volume 2. Uh-huh. Make sure to go ahead and share now so we can get things going. And if you can, join in from the Hans Batista side of the chat. So if you are on my Hans Batista, that's where we're going to go ahead and chat from. Yes, yes. Microphone checker. Microphone checker. Uh-huh. Let's see. Okay. Not enough people. We want more heads. We want more heads. Go ahead. Let's get things rolling. We're going to be doing a lot of talking today. So, it's the DJ Edition Volume number 2. What up, Feathers? What up, Susie? What up, Decade? That's what I thought I was doing right now. Just giving you that. Yeah. How about that? and then a little.
Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. All my real life bitches, throw your hands up. Throw your hands up.
Uh-huh.
Throw your hands up.
We got Mighty Bell in the house. I might just do that. I might just invite you. Maybe. That's if you're prepared to be a real man. All right. Let's see. What's up? What's up? What's up? Bam. Bam. I love that beat. It's one of my favorite beats in the whole wide world. What's going on, party people? What's happening? What up, Feathers? Throw in there that memory that brought back some good times from the Shelbourne. Man, great. Just as soon as you get started, that you press record and ready to go. Yeah, you could see me now. Oh, Decade's prepped. No, you got to bring some of your own personal friends, Decade. I want people. I want DJs. I want real DJs on here today. As a matter of fact, there's gonna be some controversy and some oohs and ahs about certain shit that I want to talk about. And I'm sure Decade's gonna be on the other side of this, or maybe even on my side. I don't know. So let's see. But it's all the DJ edition today. I got my decks ready to go. Look at that. Look at the setup. Decade, tell me that setup ain't beautiful. Talk to me. Tell me that ain't the most beautiful setup you've ever seen for a DJ to have. I mean, besides, you know, having your own Pioneer 2000s and blah, 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 maybe, you know, the V10, whatever, you know, mixer that they have with all the extra channels you should never care to use. But fucking mosquito in the house. I got a fucking mosquito in the house out of all the times. Maybe I should sweeten them up with a little bit of my cafecito. So how do I sound? How do I sound? How do I sound? I got the beats a rocking. I got a lot of shit to talk about. But we're gonna let a couple more people in. We want more heads. We want more heads. We want more heads. Let's share some of this. Let's share to the people. Talking shit about DJs. Bam. And that's what we're posting up. So, all right, we're gonna get things started. But before I get things started, not yet. It doesn't work like that. Oh, you see that a decade. If you want to be on, you got to talk to me properly. Can't be full of shit like that. We're not gonna handle you like that. All right. I don't start any show without my number one sponsor, and that is Cuban coffee. Si ustedes no saben, el café cubano es lo mejor. It's the Cuban crack. It's the most needed item prior to a set. Some might say in Miami. Sounded good, didn't it? Hello, Cuban coffee. Oh yeah, it's Cuban coffee. It fucking tastes good. Actually, does it really taste good? Or is it an acquired taste? Or is coffee an acquired taste, or something that we got used to? Because I don't know. It's fucking if you really put it together, but we kind of like it now. I don't know. I'll save some of that for later. That powerful shit. All right. So on that note, and on my, let me see if I could get 10 heads in the house. If I could get 10 heads in the house, I will. Oh, we got Georgie, boy. George is better than the mosquito biting me because he does it incognito. My head is fucking. Fuck you, George. Fuck you, George. So, if you don't know George, you don't know shit. Yes. What's happening, Mario in the house? All right, we got it. We fluctuate, so that's a beautiful thing. It's all about the DJs today, the industry, the jobs, the mishaps, the COVID attack on our business, where it is right now. And before we get things started, let's do things properly. It's the DJ Hans Shit Show. I'm never gonna get tired of doing that. That's right. And by the way, everybody, it is brought to you by All Permit Solutions Incorporated. That's my boy Tropical. You need a sign. He's gonna take care of you. He's gonna make things happen for you the proper way. And once again, I always mention that if you know the name of this song, you're a fucking badass. So let me know if you do. Maybe Mario, I would be impressed. Actually, I wouldn't be impressed. You should know this song. But beyond that, once again, the Shit Show sponsor, All Permit Solution Incorporated. That's my boy, making sure that we stay alive in this business by paying the bills. Thank you so much. Oye, Tropical, we love you, my brother. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump onto the game. And by the way, let me see what it says here. I got your 40th birthday, whatever. Show people. Fuck you. All right, so basically, let's jump on to what's happening in this world. You know what? Before I even jump on to the main topics and everything, I'm gonna throw in something that happened to me today. Today, um, actually, let's start from the beginning. A few days ago, I got a text from a buddy of mine that has been passing events my way, really fucking amazing events, you know, and stuff like that. Even like the Shelbourne parties, as a matter of fact, came from this dude. So great fucking guy, love him to death. And I'm not gonna say names, but good buddy of mine. And so he throws me this pool party. He's like, "Yo, dude, I got a pool party for you." I'm like, "Oh shit, I got a pool party." Pool parties are fun. People are having their own kind of fun. Plus, you add atmosphere to it, and then you give them the extra stuff. But a pool party is not a kind of party that they request and drive you fucking crazy or any of that shit. It's that kind of party that you get to be a DJ. You get to throw some fun music, and if you know the people and stuff like that, and the whole thing, I'm the kind of DJ that I like playing anything and everything as long as I can enjoy mixing it. So it doesn't matter. It could be Latin music, it could be hip hop, old school, freestyle, disco, house, anything, reggae, reggaeton. It doesn't matter. God damn, that mosquito's a bastard. I'm gonna kill him, I hope. But back to the subject. So I get this party and I hit him up today earlier, and I'm like, hey, throwing down the, let me invoice you. So, we do things properly like a business. We're still a business here, everybody. No matter what COVID says, we're still a business. So I send the invoice and the whole thing. Hey, what's up? My chef is in the house. Salvo in the house. Fucking pasta al dente. I love him, bro. I love Salvo. So yeah, basically I send the invoice and the whole thing, and I don't hear back for a little while. And normally you don't hear back, it can mean anything. So you throw another quick little reminder because the party's not, it's coming up pretty soon, and you want to get that deposit. You want to make sure you lock it in. So I hit them up, the whole thing, and they throw at me that my rate, which I said, I'm going to be nice about the rate. I'm going to put it at 100 per hour. And you got to bring equipment in the whole thing at 100 per hour, which I was talking rates with Decade just the other day. But I threw it at a decent rate, and I said, 4 or 5 hours, that'll be cool on a weekend, pool party. And they answer me back saying, oh, that my rate was a little too high for them right now, and that they found somebody who could do it for less. Somebody for less. Oh. That's what we all love to fucking hear in this business. I had my Cuban coffee. So basically, I answer back. I'm like, oh, shit. One thing I don't ever do is argue about price when somebody's bringing me down to a number that I don't agree with. Usually it's a shitty DJ or somebody in the family. It's kind of like one of those situations. So $50 the hour is what they were gonna give them, the party for. But here's the fucking kicker. Here's where shit is interesting. Here's where fucking, if you ever felt that COVID-19 and the coronavirus was fucking you in the ass sin gasolina, then it hasn't fucked you hard enough. Let's throw in the kicker. No, it's not Corona who's DJing the party. But here's the better one. It is a respiratory therapist / DJ on the side who got the party and is giving it to them at $50 the hour. Mind you, these are the fucking people right now that have the most work and should be considering, I'm gonna fuck over the business of a DJ while I'm fucking making buco bucks. But $50 the hour. I'll fucking, I just want to be a DJ. I just want to play some music. So I'm gonna underbid this motherfucker, and I'm gonna get the gig because I'm not gonna fucking do it. Listen, I love to DJ a good old party, and I love to make money. And I listen, even at 4 hours, $200, it's not something exciting to take home, but it's something to take home. And if you're fucking bored and you want to DJ, wow, you could DJ at home by yourself. You could DJ for somebody, but there's principle, and that's the thing about it. So, why are you gonna say to the people of the party, "Oh, wait a second, I could do it for that much or less"? No, I would not say that. I'd be, man, that's awesome. And that's my answer. That I gave. I go, that's fucking amazing. I'm so glad, especially during these hard times and the whole thing. And which, by the way, let me see if I can do that. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and you see. I love when people make me do technical shit that is complicated. But back to the story. It is what it is. I'm not gonna die from it. Money comes and goes. Gigs come and go, and overall, the reality is that somebody's having a good time and DJing a party, and maybe not me. Maybe it wasn't meant for me. Who knows? Sometimes it's like that, and that's what they wanted to pay. That's what they felt comfortable with. Maybe it's a good friend. And they prefer to have the buddy, and it is what it is. So that's what's going on with that situation. Here's one thing, Mario. I will not. I'm not saying not because I did a Zoom party. I did one of those Zoom parties, and not for anything. That is fucking terrible. Depression. Shoot me in the fucking head. I cannot. Listen. It's not fucking exciting at all. So, for money, sometimes you do whatever the fuck, Work is work. I like to, let me not be a dick. Work is work. If you could make a buck, make a fucking buck. Put yourself out there. It's not time to, act like you're fucking God and shit, or you can't. Oh, I'm too good for that. I would never work at McDonald's or whatever. The point is, be productive, make money. Don't fucking take a handout. If you don't need the handout and you can take the job, I know every DJ. I could say it comfortably. DJs love fucking mosquito. DJs love what they do, and that's why sometimes they even do it for free, which is, it is what it is. But they, DJs love what they fucking do, and they might do it for free. So it just puts us on that situation that, unfortunately we get a lot of times underbid by another guy for the love of what they do, because there's a hot chick at the party that they're trying to impress, or they think that maybe by playing the best tunes, they might be like, oh my god, this guy's fucking amazing. I couldn't believe it, man. You were a fucking boring ass looking person, who does fucking paramedic work or whatever the fuck, but now you are showing me that you have these skills. You're like fucking Batman. You put on a cape at night and you do shit that's amazing. You fucking made those beats sound fucking incredible. And yeah, Decade, you're right. Not all DJs love what they do, and those are not DJs, by the way. I don't put them in the same category. They're not fucking DJs. If you don't love it, then you are a fucking misrepresentation of what a DJ is. You're just full of shit kind of guy that's maybe just trying to pick up chicks, or said, hey, DJs look cool doing what they do, so I'm gonna act fucking, those are guys who can't come up with their own positive way of doing something special and being somebody unique, or to themselves at least, or being real to themselves. That's not a DJ. So fuck that shit. Those guys don't fucking count. While I'm talking to you guys, I'm gonna try. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, because fuck me. Let me see if I can do the Zoom thingy. All right. Now we're gonna look at Hans, and we're gonna find out if Hans is any what good at anything. Vamos. Let's see. Let me see. Join with computer. Ooh. That doesn't look exciting. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna. You know what, guys? No. You know why I'm not gonna do this? Because it's gonna take up too much time, and I am not that professional. So, on that note, next show we will do that beautifully. But right now, not gonna do that. So, let me see. Hold on a second. What am I doing? See, me tienen mal la gente. All right. So here we go. Let me put myself right back over here again, and this here. All right. So. Oh, you got another Scarlet 212. I was trying to get one really cheap from somebody and that failed. So I got to find somebody else on one of these, sites, these apps. Somebody who thought they wanted to be somebody and then found out it's not as easy or exciting. And now they're selling their gear for half the price. Yeah, I will pick it up for under 100. And I will promise myself that's the only way it's going to happen. So, yeah, sorry, George. Sorry, Decade. You want to talk? You're going to talk in here. You're going to talk inside this shit. That's how it's going to work. Or you could call the hotline. If you know the number to the hotline, you could always call the hotline. So, George, call the hotline. Decade, you could call the hotline too. And let's see who calls me first. And I will put you on. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. All right, so let me see. While these guys are doing their thing, we're going to talk about music. And it's a topic that came up just the other day. So here's the topic. Shitty music back then, shitty music now. The story you've all heard a million times of, oh man, this new music fucking sucks. It's like, my music from my era never sucked as bad as this new music. And by the way, Decade, you know my number. It's the only number. There's no special number, so you got call 1-900-MIX-A-LOT. Or 1-800-DO-DO. I should get that fucking number. That would be the shit. But yeah, so I hear that topic often, and it kind of like boils my blood a little with the fact that there was always shitty music. Shitty music isn't something that comes with times or goes with times. It's always there. There's always shitty music, and there's shitty people that enjoy that shitty music, and it's not really even shitty. It's different. It's or mal-made, badly made. Sorry. And oh look, we got a call. We got a call. Yo. Wait, hold on. Decade.
Yes.
Oh shit, we got Decade on the line. You got something to say,
There we
Decade,
go.
to the people?
What's up?
Welcome to the shit show.
Thank you. So I got something to say first about.
Go ahead.
You're talking about the gig and the pricing and this and that, but that's something we've dealt with before COVID. We're gonna deal with it after COVID. That people are going to lowball you and undercut you. I mean, that's just something that we deal with every day. On a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Exactly.
It hasn't changed, and yeah, that's totally 100% true. It hasn't ever changed. That's one of the things that I think are a part of every business in the world. But obviously, we're the DJ, so we're gonna bring it into the DJ topic. And the only difference is that in the other businesses, there's not that love for the business. So, where if you're a carpet cleaner and somebody tells you, hey, can you carpet clean my shit for less, you're not going to go, wow, dude, I miss fucking cleaning carpets. I'll do it for half the price. No, you're not. You're gonna like,
right.
Fuck that shit, bro.
Well,
you
like you said,
price.
I mean, like you said, though, I mean, during this time, people are going to do whatever they can do to make a buck. Okay?
And save a buck. And save a buck, too.
For half the price, if they got to clean carpets at half the price, they're going to clean carpets at half the price to make money to pay the bills and feed their family.
Yeah.
Okay? Just like certain DJs right now are working for half the price that they normally would get on a normal night because of the COVID thing, and they're working for 4, 5, 6 hours for half the price and bring in lugging equipment, lugging this and that. I'm like, crazy, that they're gonna do it for half the price. I mean. I just feel that's crazy.
Well, it's
because they don't pay enough as it is. Most of these venues that we don't.
You're right. Right now, listen, I don't think that there's, in our world of what we're doing, there's never going to be enough money to even sustain yourself. It's impossible. If right now if I was to sustain myself and my family with what I'm making. No, it's impossible. Listen,
right,
if there wasn't a savings or government handout of some sort,
right.
or a business SBA loan, which those are the 3 options right now that we have. Beyond that, there's no other option. Beyond that is starve. Starve and
right.
or find somebody to help you out. Move into their fucking couch. Say, hey, this is life right now, and deal with it. So, or you have a side gig, or it was you had a main gig. But as a DJ right now, if that's what you were doing, listen, I follow some other DJs that do this like on the heavy, like the professional fucking high end guys that this is, they have warehouses. These guys are still doing the work. But I'm talking about not every weekend, and some jobs are like podcasting for companies, a church, doing.
I know who you're talking about too. I know who you're talking about.
They're doing that kind of work because they have to find a side hustle within the hustle. But
what's funny though is that the bars and clubs are closed, and Miami and Broward are pretty much shut down, but if you go to Palm Beach, you go to Orlando, you go to Tampa.
They have parties and they have parties. Look, when I was up in Orlando this past weekend, I got invited by this guy that throws events that I did one during conference for him. The Lollipop, whatever company. Electronic Lollipop. That's the one.
Yeah.
So, he's up in Orlando now, and he threw this party and invited me. It's a kind of reggaeton thing, I didn't go. I wasn't prepped for that kind of gig. But
of course,
they're doing parties. They're surviving. Yeah. I went to a restaurant.
And Palm Beach and Tampa. My friends are all DJing every weekend at the bars and clubs, and
So basically, it's a Miami thing more than anything, because as a matter of fact, as of today, in Broward County, restaurants are open till 11 now, so they got an extra hour in.
Right, but they still have it open. Because DeSantis came on press conference like 2 days ago, and he said that Florida, Broward, and Miami are going to go to phase 2 soon, but we don't know exactly when. But where restaurants will be at full capacity,
50,
and then bars and clubs will be able to open at 50% capacity.
No, bars and clubs will not be open. That's what I understood. And 50% capacity for restaurants.
Be open 50, no.
Oh no!
Sorry. I'll send you a link on Facebook.
If you're right, if you're right, I hope you are correct, and I'm going to look into that. And if anybody else has read that or anything, let us know.
The bars will be open 50% capacity in phase 2. Bars, clubs, and movie theaters will be open at 50% capacity. In phase 2.
Here's the not devil's advocate about it, but here's I guess an example of how I don't understand that. Being the restaurants, I get it. And listen, I want the bars and clubs open, please. But I will say, because I'm not gonna not think, I will say that the whole point of a bar and club is to be social and touchy touch. And
Correct.
The restaurants, you could eat and not touch somebody. You could walk
Correct.
to a store, Publix, and not touch somebody. You don't have
Right.
to do that intimate touch. You go to a bar, it's all you went in there. I mean, even if you're just thinking that I'm gonna be just a social person and to speak to other people, you're gonna go into a
Correct.
hug, a handshake, a dance. You're gonna fuck somebody. It's the whole point.
They're probably going to have some strict restrictions as far as got to wear your mask at all times. While you're in the club or bar, you got to still stay social distance 6 feet away from
Right.
everybody. I'm sure they're going to have ropes and markings and all kind of stuff once they do open up.
Right. Now here's something. Amaury. What's happening, Amaury Arroyo in the house, by the way? Big shout out to you, Bamba. He's saying we have to adapt. We have to adapt, or if not, we fail. Now,
Of course.
I get that. I'm 100%, believer in that reality. And here's the thing. I sometimes think that there's not much adapting to be done. We gave some adapting a try with these drive-throughs and Zoom things. So far, the DJ is still suffering huge because it's far in between, and not for anything. I think that the whole drive-through thing was kind of like to remind people how fucking cool I am, that I'm still doing shit, and people got over that real fucking quick. Spending that much money on a fucking 5-minute party that drives by your house, let's call it an hour. And,
Right.
You graduated. Listen, I'd love to take your money, but come the fuck on. That's
Well, listen,
ridiculous.
okay, I know somebody in Miami, a DJ, that specializes, once this whole COVID and pandemic thing happened, he specialized in doing, driveway parties and driveway and graduation, things like that.
Right.
Okay. Now he's bringing, I'm not saying his name, but he's bringing speakers, lighting, this and that, whatever. And he's charging $25 an hour.
Right. Okay.
$25.
Damn.
And he's getting booked every weekend. He's booked every weekend. I see the guy on Instagram.
Wow. How does he do it?
$25. He's in Miami. He knows people, I guess, and for the price, I mean, they're going to pay $25.
Yeah.
For an hour. He makes you,
look, my friend Bruno, he's been doing some parties and stuff like that. He does those, that when they want to call them illegal parties and stuff like that. He's been doing those. He's been successful at it. People personally from my family, ran into him, and they didn't know that I knew him and the whole thing. But basically, people are doing things to survive, obviously, but it's not enough.
Of course.
I still think it's not enough. Maybe this, like you said, that one guy gets away with it. He slides through. He's at a different spectrum of whatever he's doing. He's figured out a way, to maybe make it viable and functional.
Right.
But at the end, like Mario says, there's I don't know if he said 1,000 DJs per square mile.
Yep.
That's a lot of DJs to feed in this.
And South Florida, you got like 5 million DJs.
Yeah.
Alone.
So in this makeshift bullshit idea of throwing a party or creating a little business side hustle or a way to have a sit down dance party, which is what I call them now. Sit down and dance, because you're sitting down, you're not dancing.
Correct.
And
you're not allowed to dance. Yeah.
So, and by the way, they're awesome. I'm having a good time with them. It still drives me. Oh, by the way, look at my shirt. Oh,
I saw that.
Such a kiss ass.
Yep.
But I get it. So that's the reality. And you're right. It's shit. It's shit. And hopefully we're gonna get out of that soon. I don't know
how soon it's gonna be, but it's gonna be a while, I think, until we get to phase 2.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump into that subject in a minute. So I'm gonna drop on and see if George wants to jump on in a few. So I'm going to leave my line open for George or anybody else who wants to jump in and say something. But that was Decade in the House. You like that?
Yeah. I want to talk about the music though. I want to talk about you were talking about music before I called.
Okay, so wait, let's bring you in on that one since you want to hog it up. So here's the thing about the music: old school music, new school music. Why they're saying that new school music is shit? That the music of today is caca. Okay.
I believe that the rap music, or what they're calling mumble rap today, is caca. Okay. But there has been a lot of good either house tracks or dance tracks, top 40 tracks that have been released throughout COVID and before COVID that have been really good, that have packed my dance floors.
Correct.
You know, when I play them. But, some rap has been okay, but most of it, about 80%, I would say, is caca of the new rap.
But you notice how it jumps right
into
rap. Some of it
is good, but what's that?
The subject, you know, and the style of music that everybody then usually, when they say caca, it's into rap in the genre.
Correct.
But they are also saying salsa is caca. The new salsa is caca. It's very repetitive sounds and all this. And they're saying it about reggaeton. You know, all these different genres. They're saying in the general sense that new music is shit. And that old music was better. You know, the lyrics were nicer. You know, that they meant something. You know, that they were composed better. The musicians played better. Everything was just, you know, like, I guess that live sound.
I totally agree with that. The old music is much better than today's music. Totally, 100%. I agree with that.
This is well, here's my take on the whole thing.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So you know how I play it. I always play the newest current stuff, this and that. Okay, and I've been doing Twitch since, you know, this whole pandemic thing, and I've been playing before I started doing video DJing, this and that. I've been playing, you know, top 40 house, you know, really cool remixes like I normally play it when I play out in the places I play. But lately, I've been playing older stuff that is redone, but it's redone well enough that it still has the same feel and flair, like the reflex stuff that you and I play.
That it maintains that feeling, yeah.
Correct. But and the people that are on Twitch watching me, they're like, man, I haven't heard a song. You brought back so many memories. Like, you know, it's like, that song is amazing. I haven't, you know, thank you for playing that. And I've been hooked on, you know, like the new wave, the 80s and 90s, playing a lot of stuff, you know, even some disco I've been playing. And it's been working really well. And, you know, people really appreciate that music more than today's music.
Correct.
I believe.
You get a better reaction online from listeners, the spectators.
Yes.
They give you a better listen. When you play old school, there's just something about the way people reply. If you give them new music, they just don't even fucking reply. They don't give a fuck. They just either stay quiet or nothing, or you got nobody. And I get that. And I think that has a lot to do with the, you know, our age group. The people that follow us in some case. But now my take on this whole thing, and Mario said it too, is that there's incredible music today, just like there was incredible music then. There's there's shit music now. There was shit music then.
And I said that too. I said the same thing. Yeah.
No, of course.
Yeah.
And we both agree on that. Now the thing is that nowadays you're listening to shit a lot more from many angles. You could hear music.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to a radio station to listen to music.
Correct.
Or buy a record, because, you know, when you buy a record you bought a record back then, it was because it was a hit, because you really loved that song. So you were never going to buy shit music. Of course not. But now you have the choice to listen to so many different types of music that you could be very experimental. Within that experimental case, you're going to get through producers that make some crap music. They're just futile. They're crap producers who don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're learning. Maybe one day they'll get good, but during the time, they're still pushing out that music, and there's no record producer or filter to stop them from, you know, and saying, hey, No. Why would you? We're not gonna make that record. We're not gonna play that on the radio. Why the hell would we? There's many things stopping that shit music from getting in. That was back in the day. You couldn't. If you came in with an accordion and said, "Hey, this is my song," if they didn't like it, they'd shut you the fuck out.
You're done. Yeah, you're done. Exactly.
But now you have you make your audience. You're like, well, fuck you, record producers, and I'm gonna open up my YouTube and I'm gonna make my song. And guess what? There's gonna be some people that maybe like you. Maybe not even your music. They just like you. They think you're funny or cool or whatever. And they're like, hey, yeah, we love your music. And they're feeding your bullshit. And all that music's making it out there. And it's never ending.
But here's the sad part is that, you know, we grew up with good shit, good music. You know, we grew up with, you know, disco. We grew up with old school hip hop. We grew up with, you know, house. We grew up with, you know, funk. We grew up with, you know, so many different genres of music that were really good. I mean, really good.
Right.
And today, the millennials today only want to hear the shit. You know, they want to hear, you know, the Cardi B, the Nicki Minaj, the City Girls, the Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's it. Like, okay, for example, I'm going to give a perfect example. One place that you and I both play at, okay? And, you know, we'll go with this. The staff and even the managers always come to me, hey, can you play City Girls? Can you play Nicki Minaj? Can you play this? They want to hear the ghetto, like ratchet, like, you know, new hip hop.
The spot on shit, of course. Yeah.
Right, the new stuff. And I'm like, I play it, you know, don't get me wrong, I play it, but then, you know, people and some people like it, and then some people like can't stand it. So then I switch it. They're like, oh man, you switched it, you know. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not just playing for you. I got to play for everybody here. Well, you know. Yeah. So, and I'm thinking also that millennials don't have a long attention span either. They only attention span is like 15 seconds. You know, if they don't play the song 15 seconds, they're done.
Right.
You know, so the new mumble rap, the new music that stuff is great for them because they really can't. There's really no words to understand. They just hear a beat. And that's it.
That music is more about a way of life and not about the music. It's you know, it's depicting, you know, a fucking style. That's really it.
Correct.
You know, and here's the thing. Back in the 80s, 90s, you know, being that I'm a fucking old DJ, just like most of us that are here now, we used to play parties.
You're not even half my age yet.
Well, but here's but here's the thing. We used to play parties and we played everything. We had to play everything because that's how it worked. That's what the DJ did. He played all types of music. You really didn't show up to a party and say, I'm only going to play disco. No, you played everything and for everybody, and you had to do breaks. And you even played slow songs for couples.
Yep.
That was back in the day. Now you have gone through the stages of where a DJ will only play hip-hop or only played house or only played this. And, you know, those have been broken in. And now there's the open format DJ who plays everything. Yep. But that DJ that's an open format DJ, just like the one who plays one genre, they both suffer a lot. Because the one that plays one genre is really fucking going like a fucking salmon up the fucking stream, you know, because he's got to push. Only thing he could do. And if he goes and stops playing his house and gives you hip hop, he just fucking broke the fucking rule. Like he just shot Jesus, you know, because goddamn, you're an asshole, you know. What the fuck, you know, you said you were a house DJ and you broke your cardinal rule. So you can't do that.
Exactly.
You stick to your fucking guns and don't ever get hired again. Not from those people.
Yep.
But then the open format DJ plays all the formats. Now he has to choose how often, how many, and really know how to work that eye and see who is here, who controls the floor, how often should they control it. You are a fucking politician, 100%. You got to feed the bullshit, tell people, hey, I'm going to take care of that for you in a minute. Yeah, we love your song. And you got to bullshit them. You got to smile. You got to play a fucking game of just mind fucking. and Jedi, fucking everything. You got to put it all together, because the thing is, while you're not playing what they want, you got to make them feel that they're going to get what they want, and that while you're, you know, and vice versa, you know. So that's, you know, that's the game that we all play as DJs and stuff like that. And I'm going to bring back something to DJ Noise that mentioned something about freestyle earlier that I was looking at. He says that the new freestyle music is shit. Now,
there's new freestyle music?
I know. Yeah, there is. And here's the thing about it. I've heard the new freestyle music. And Noise, prove me wrong, or, you know, maybe you'll agree with me on this. Maybe you didn't see it this way. If I gave you today a song and I said, and you never heard this song before, but they made it today. Now that freestyle is already old school. But they give you a brand new freestyle song that's called, it's a guy and a girl singing together, called Dream Boy, Dream Girl. And they gave it to you right now. And you heard it. You wouldn't like it. Why? Because you only like what you got accustomed to, what those songs that played over and over on the radio that you mixed a billion fucking times, those were, they were given to you and you felt them and you were in an era and you were a part of that.
Diamond Girl and Spring Love and fucking TKA and all that shit,
And all those songs, you know, were cool because they were in the moment and everything. Now they give you a new freestyle song, and if, you know, it's the same song that's was a hit then, but you, let's say it didn't exist then, and you throw it in now, it wouldn't be a cool song. You'd be like, "Ooh, this sounds stupid. Dream Boy, Dream Girl. What the fuck? Are you childish?"
Yeah, you're right.
It's stupid only because it's not in its time. It's making disco music now. You're not gonna fully accept a new disco song. You might accept a remix of an old song and stuff like that, or disco house. You know, stuff like that, but it's not the era or the place for it, and that's, you know, my situation, and that's why I say, you know, and yeah, as a matter of fact, there's a new TKA song that's pretty cool. But they're adapting, and at the same time, they've always had a coolness to them. And here's the other thing: it's an old school group doing new music, not some new group that sounds old. It sounds a mixture of both. It sounds decent. You know, it's not my take on.
Well, you know, I'm not a big freestyle person. I don't really care for freestyle. I mean, so, you know, I used to like it back in the day, but now it's like, I mean, if I have to play it, I'll play it, but I try not to play it if I can.
Right, of course. Yeah. And that's the thing. Well, Decade, thank you for being a part of the DJ.
I have one question for you.
All right, and then and then you gotta go.
Yeah. So what do you think of a DJ that calls himself a DJ and plays mixes?
Okay, he's a DJ, but can he mix?
Yes, but he plays mixes.
But he could be a great DJ, but he only plays mixes.
No, not only, but most of the time that
I fucking call
I've seen this person.
That's a lazy fucking DJ. That's all I think of that. It's a guy who is just fucking lazy. And on that, we're going to switch it over to George 360 chat. All right. George.
Yo.
What's happening, my boy?
What's up, buddy? All right, man. I'm steaming up over here, man.
How you feeling today?
I'm doing good. Am I on?
You're on. You're on the shit show.
All right.
So talk to me, man. What's going through your head?
What's the new topic? Because I don't want to beat the same topic over, but I do have a lot of opinions on it.
Well,
I mean, I don't know where you want me to start. First thing, okay, here we go. I'm gonna hit the haters, man. I'm gonna hit the haters all in one shot. First of all of the DJs there in Miami that are saying they're making $100 an hour at a club are full of fucking shit. Okay, that's number one. All right, I'm gonna call you straight out. I know a lot of the fucking DJs. I know what they're making. None of them are making $100 an hour at a lounge or at a bar. So screw you on that.
None of them.
Be honest. be honest and tell me the truth. You're not making that,
Well,
and it's not even close to that.
I'm gonna call myself out right now. So my Wednesday nights, I make $250, and within that $250, I could work as many hours. I don't even care. I don't even put that into the situation. But actually, from that $250, I still pay $50 to an agent. So put that together and see that that's a reality of a number. And guess what?
Yeah.
Not everybody's even paying that. They look at that as a little high number because of how many people are being able to be seated within the business. Now, if you didn't have COVID, I know this place would be slammed. And thanks to COVID, it will be slammed once it's over, situation. And I could ask for more. I could go up to the 400 number. And that's a number that I am comfortable with saying a DJ makes at a bar, club, restaurant. If you're DJing 4 to 6 hours, for example. And the same goes for my Saturday. The numbers don't change in that case, only because it was kind of like already kind of pre-planned. The business was doing well, and the numbers, honestly, when I started, I offered myself at 150 because it was COVID, and I wanted to help the business just like I wanted them to help me, But luckily, business is good. There's business, and they're being good about it.
Right. So here's the situation now. Since there's COVID, and most DJs are either or full-time DJs have to look for a source of income somewhere else. And again, I'm going to say personal stuff because I think people will understand a little bit more. If you're used to making, let's say, $75, $65 an hour doing DJ work, okay, on average, if that's what you're used to doing, when you go and get a job that's $25 an hour, automatically your head's already programmed more like, okay, I'm going to do this job for 3 hours at $20 an hour. I'm going to make $60. I can do the same thing in 1 hour being a DJ. And hear me out. It does not take, you don't have to be educated to be a DJ. You don't have to get a certification. You don't have to pass college. You don't have to have a high school diploma. You don't even have to have a driver's license to
You just have to have a dream.
DJ.
All you need is a dream.
You don't have to have insurance. All you're doing is you bought equipment, okay? You bought equipment. You know how to mix. You know how to download music, and you're playing music. And everybody's a great DJ, okay? So
Correct.
You don't need an education to become a DJ, and you're still making $25, $30, $40, $50, $60 an hour without an education. So the whole thing is what I'm saying is that, be glad you can make $50 an hour playing music, because that's all you're doing.
Of course.
I know all the fighters and all the haters are going to say, oh, but I've been a DJ forever and I've DJed for $100 an hour. Yeah. In 1990, you used to make $100 an hour because you had to buy records, okay, at $3, $4, $6, $7, $8.
There were higher expenses. The equipment was bigger. You had to have helpers.
Equipment was bigger. Equipment was heavier.
You had racks.
That's why you made $100.
Yeah, not everybody could obtain, the DJ life it was expensive to start.
That's correct. So everyone now is DJ. I've said it on my YouTube channel. I can create a whole DJ system without the speakers for less than $500, including a computer.
Of course. Now here's the thing. Back in the day, just so sorry to cut you off on that one, but back in the day, before I could actually become a DJ, I had to borrow equipment from certain people to test myself out to see if I even wanted to be a part of this DJ world. And then I would run into people like DJ Noise who would, if I got a party, I would get one of his turntables, a mixer from that person, all this stuff, because it was so hard to put it together that you really had to want it. You really, truly had to want it. So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, there. I'm reading in the comments. There are spots that you make more money. I mean, I'm averaging for 4 hours $300 in Broward County, and if I go further up, I make a little bit more. But the average here, at least in Broward County, for 4 hours is $300. sometimes you'll play 5 hours. And every time I go to Miami and I play in Miami, I make, I think it's $200 for 5 hours. And you know what I did? I do what I do. I go and I play music. I play the style that I want to play. And then when people come up and request bachata and reggaeton, you know what I do? I say, listen, write it on a $5 bill and put it in that cup. Write it on a $10 bill and put it in the cup. And by the time I get out, I make, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks.
Yeah. If they're going to put you out of your way, let there be a donation of some sort.
Exactly. And, and I don't say, and a lot of them will, look at me funny, like, really? Are you kidding me? I said, listen, I got to pay parking here. I got to pay my food.
Yeah, there's other shit. Of course. Of course.
You didn't come in here and ask for food and say, you know what, I'm not going to pay. I'm just going to eat here.
Of course.
So just the same way you're coming to me and requesting, your stupid bachata song that you want to play with your wife, you better write down a fucking, put it on a $10 bill, at least minimum 5.
Hey, or here's the other way that they could get you to play that song. They could come up to you in a very smooth, slick way and say, hey, what's your name? George. Hey, George, by the way, you're a fucking amazing DJ. We love what you're playing. It's so awesome. But can you do me a favor and play?
Listen, if they ask nice, I'm gonna play it.
You know what? Actually, that's when I don't play it. When they fuck with my head and they give me a bullshit compliment that I know, I get the work. It's gotta
be the right way, man. It's gotta be the right way. It's gotta be the right way. It's gotta be the right way.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna put up.
If right.
Wait.
And there's a lot of DJs that they don't want to make tips. Fine, no problem. Don't make any tips. Work for your $300 a night. Call it a day. You're not hurting me. But what I can't understand is the bullshit. The bullshit that DJs, here in South Florida, we all know each other and we're all bullshitting each other. I tell you straight, right as is, I ain't bullshitting nothing. All right, so that's on that. What's the next
I love
one?
the anger.
No, dude, yeah, because I've been talking about this forever.
Wait, hold on, because
the hypocrisy is what kills me.
You know what? I fucking agree. I can't anyway because if you notice, I am showing my equipment. I'm babysitting my system right now.
And by the way, you got a lot of viewers now.
Oh,
we were heating up because
people
we're
are getting
angry.
Airways,
man.
Okay,
That's right.
Okay, here now that we got more people, and let me take advantage of this. And I'm glad George is on here now because as a co-host, you'd be perfect for this little situation I'm about to drop. So I know that most of you guys have been a part of Miami forever, and there's 2 DJs that I kind of put, kind of like on a same kind of level, even though they're different and yet they're the same, and they got some, they've worked together and they've been around for the same kind of time, and we grew up to them and heard them do great sets. But I want to know, who's the better DJ? Who's the not voice DJ, radio DJ? Who's the better mixing DJ? DJ Laz or FELIX SAMA? George, what's your take on that?
Yeah, you're putting me in a spot because
I know both of them too, and that's the reason why I'm gonna give you my opinion.
I just saw FELIX last night, so I can't go and say that. No, I'm not.
No. But I don't want you. Listen, I don't want you to be a sweetheart about this. I want you to fucking throw down a reality check, because guess what? At the end of it all, they're both fucking great DJs. They're both very creative. They've both been around and done their fucking damn thing. I respect them both. Both of them gave me reason to be who I am today. But one is better than the other.
Yeah, I'm in the hot seat, Emery. No, I'm not answering that. I can't.
You gotta answer it. You gotta answer it. You're on the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, we're getting static.
Oh wait.
Hello?
No. Here's the thing, Luis Olino. We're not gonna talk about Phil Jones because he sucked. Phil Jones.
Okay. Hold on. You mentioned Phil Jones.
Muhammad Moreno and Bob Rosenberg.
No, forget Muhammad. I'm sorry, Muhammad. No, Muhammad. No, I can't stand that. Phil Jones. Phil Jones is one of my favorite DJs at all times.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because he's the only DJ, one of the only DJs that actually opened up new music, Chicago music, New York music.
He was on the experimental tip.
Yes. And I learned a lot of music from Phil Jones. So I definitely look up to Phil Jones.
All right, so because he had that different style, he went and took it to a more experimental level. He went Chicago house, garage, and all that shit. Of course.
Listen, it's very simple. Here's a great scenario. You go to a club right now. You got a 50-year-old DJ playing freestyle because that's all he knows. Well, he knows everything. He knows disco. He knows everything else.
He knows everything from his genre.
He's playing freestyle. Yeah, he's playing freestyle for 20-year-olds. Great. You know, that's like playing opera to 20-year-olds. What the fuck are you playing freestyle to 20-year-olds?
I'm going to tell you why.
Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so Phil Jones, Mohamed Moretta, and I'm going to include Mohamed in there, both introduced in South Florida all the newer stuff, including Bob Rosenberg.
Yes, okay.
DJ Laz, Felix Sama, all the rest were playing the music that were...
Yeah, because there were a lot of names in between.
The freestyle,
yeah.
The electro, right. Yeah, but they were not...
Babalu Bad Boys and
out of state.
Go ahead. No, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm done.
Okay,
Joe Rogan.
Who's better?
In what way?
In the general sense of, putting it all together, you could say this person had that edge on the other. Because it's going to be a close call. I get it. But one has an edge on the other.
DJ Laz was your performer, your scratcher, your...
So is Felix.
Your hype man. And if I had to pick, DJ Laz is the one that at least I followed. And Felix Sama was more of a mixer. He produced some music with some artists. He's in the radio.
Well, so did Laz. His own, which he rapped on top of. Felix didn't. But we're not looking at artist part, even though. But in the overall sense, if you had to pick a DJ to DJ your party, your Miami, this is the ultimate Miami party, and Miami was the fucking shit, and these were the guys, and I only have money to pay for one of you two.
I'm gonna say, listen, I'm gonna get DJ Panel. Get me
George,
the street guy, bro.
George.
That guy can throw down whatever the fuck he wants.
You're a little bitch. But I'll let you ride. It's a tough call. And you know what? If anybody out there...
Tough, bro.
It's a tough. And by the way, like I said, I respect them both. I will tell you how I look at it. If I wanted a performer, locura, puteria, I get DJ Laz. He's going to fucking throw down the party and the girls are going to pop their titties out. If I want a fun mixed DJ party where it's going to throw everything down to Scooby-Doo, Where Are You in the mix, I'm going to throw in Felix Sama. The guy took chances.
Felix Sama is more open-minded and diverse.
Not only that, he felt that like when he would do the Power, morning show and stuff like that, you're live on the air and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if, some of these things might have been pre-recorded or not. Maybe they could have been, so not to fuck it up. And if you didn't, Felix, you're fucking incredible, still incredible no matter what. But he would go ahead and throw fucking Spider-Man into the mix, or fucking one of these themes, from the 60s or 80s or whatever into the mix, or the Love Boat. And you would say, oh, fucking amazing. You do that now, it's kind of cheesy because it doesn't make sense anymore. But that was mixability. Right. And he had mixability where he would throw whatever, and man, could he ride a beat and stay on it. DJ Labs was more cut, scratch cut, because he also played more of the bass and stuff like that, which I understand. He was not as mixing as Felix and
right.
And yeah, that was the thing, So that's my take.
So just to touch on one subject that you already touched on with Decade, and I know it's dragging on.
Dragging on Decade.
It's one of those. It's one of those controversial topics that, again, it offends a lot of people, but you have to understand that you have to have a limitation to how long you're going to DJ and how old you are, and continue to DJ. There's a certain part that I think that you either if you're a little older, and when I say older, I mean 50. If you're borderline 50, and you're working on going over onto 60, and you hate all the new music that's going on now, and you can't find new music that you like, it's time to start thinking to retire. Or I'll put a happy note. Or stick to the genre that you grew up with 30 years ago. And find those parties and only DJ those parties. Because I'm tired, bro. I'm tired of seeing these 45, 50, 55-year-old DJs that,
I'm going to give you
hold the transition for 5 minutes. And then you tell them, I said, yeah, but you're playing music when you were 15,
right?
Dude.
Your comfortable
spot.
spot.
Could you play something new?
I get it.
Could you play something new?
Now, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Just the other day. Yesterday. Shit. I'll give you a right on example. I am mixing, and I'm watching my crowd. There were a bunch of younger people. DJ Tony Tone was there. He was, listening in, and I know that he's worked, at all these places in the Hard Rock and everything with DJ Def. They're more up to date when it comes down to the new hip hop and stuff like that, more than I am.
Because they're on the radio.
Of course they have to be, and they know that stuff and they follow it, and they're good. I consider them great DJs at what they do. And me, I'm more the full open format that has to adjust to new music and follow it because it's me maintaining, not because I sit there and I watch TV shows and I know that Little Red or whatever the fuck, rapper, Tekashi, all these guys, I don't follow any of that shit. It's not my personal intake of stuff. It's not where I want to put my mind. But what saves me is that I love to mix music. I don't care what the fuck it is. I enjoy mixing, and I enjoy throwing a Tekashi into a Saturday Night fucking Fever track and doing it well. And that's luckily the crowds that I have. That.
Right. You have to adapt, and I'm agreeing with a lot of the people that are typing now. You have to adapt.
By the way,
you have to adapt to the newer music.
Walter could attest to that. Walter could attest because he was there the other day, and he was like, "Play some songs from the Bee Gees." I forgot what it was called, but I did.
I mean, listen, we're going to I had a DJ that just retired.
Right.
He says, George, I can't go to, and this guy's an awesome fucking DJ. I mean, he knows his music, and he knows current music too. But he says, George, I can't go DJ, and half the people that are in the audience are the age of my daughter. and I'm like, well, are you play the right music? He goes, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling
That's
the
tough.
newer music. And he retired. He's selling his shit.
Yeah, good for him, and maybe, I see what might happen afterwards. He might start getting an itch and wanting to go back, and he'll buy a little setup, and he'll go back and mix the music he knows best.
Sure.
And that's all well and, good.
For the Yeah, let's mix TKA for
Shadow
the
dancing.
150,000th time. Yeah.
The song was Shadow Dancing,
Sing
by the
alive,
way.
buddy.
And here's the thing. In my eyes, you know, because I get grinded because I'm older, man, you know, and that's my reality. And I get grinded like, hey, how long are you going to be a DJ for? Because, you know, I do understand that there's a lot of people that still to this day see what I do as fun and games. Yet I've done.
Well, you're making a living off of it.
I made a living off of it. I'm not going to say, you know, it could be any kind of living. I could be a millionaire from this business, but I chosen not to be that fucking good at it in the business part of it. But I could be, and it is a legitimate business. But when it comes down to loving what I do, there's one thing that saves me: mixability. I love mixing. I love to excite people with music, even if it's not what I personally like.
Well, because you see, and that's where I always, you know, again, I love to butt heads with people, and I don't mind it. I mean, I'm looking at it as in the logical part.
Of course,
logical part. Mixing is very important. Keeping two tracks together for 2-3 minutes, or at least, you know, 64 count or whatever, you know, at least a minute and a half. You know, that's all.
You
great.
mean like Gordy?
You know, that takes skills. That takes skills. But you know, there hasn't been an event or a paid party that they say, you know what, your music selection is awesome, dude, but you can't mix two songs together. You know, usually people that do that are DJs. They're listening. Oh shit, he train wrecked. Oh, this and that.
Right.
And I've been to events. I've gone to events where the music is correct, but you know, the guy doesn't know how to mix.
Yeah.
So he fades it out, whatever. And you know what?
And you still have a good time.
I'll take the right music over the mixability.
Oh yeah, me too. I will say that. Yeah. I always tell people, listen, you could be two kinds of DJs. You could be a mixing DJ, or you could be a guy who chooses good music for the right crowd, and you don't have to really mix them. You just have to know how to transition good enough so that you're not overplaying one song over the other too long, and knowing exactly when to cut off one song to the next without killing us, you know, with an extended version and stuff like that. You know, just that's playing and knowing.
Yeah, let me answer to Andrew. He says something. There's a way to maintain the crowd without moving always into kiddie stuff. Ride the music as you do life. You know what? Yes, if you're an event, if you're at a bar where the majority of the people are 21, 22, 23, 24, which is the average, what do you mean kiddie music? The kiddie music is the music that's on the radio now.
Yeah.
That's what
it's full-grown adult music, but
exactly. So what do you mean you don't move? Don't go into the kiddie shit. Explain to me what kiddie shit is.
Yeah, that's you know, I get you, and I think you're right. And the problem is that, you know, once again, you're using your age as a reason to say that you're correct and that your era is the proper era, and you're incorrect. Listen. The today era is the era of today.
I've said this before. I saw a seasoned DJ got his ass torn apart by a DJ that came in with a little tiny ass controller, RCA. He didn't even have RCAs because the club had XLRs and they had to rig something. And the guy got on the mic. The guy started playing with this little controller and he wrecked the place. And you know why? You know why he wrecked it? Because he's young.
And he's on fire.
20, 22, and he's on fire, and he's playing other 20-year-olds, not a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old.
That is out of place. Yeah, he's out of place.
It ain't gonna happen.
Listen,
out of place.
I'm going to tell you like this. I DJ every once in a while. You know, Fent Entertainment, which is one of the companies I work for, you know, Angelo, he will send me sometimes to a, Sweet 16, the 15, and I, would rather say no to the event. But there's times when I'm like, meh, you know what? It'll put me up to date with the music. It'll give me work in the sense of, finding out what's popping. I speak to the kids, beforehand, and I get a list of what they're listening to, and it kind of, like I said, remember, I like to mix, so I don't give a shit about what it is. So
right.
It opens me up. It's like taking a class that you need to take every once in a while. Like if you're an attorney, you need to know the new laws. Well, you need to know the new music the same way. If you want to be a good attorney or a good fucking relevant DJ. That's
correct.
That's what I do. And look, one thing, I used to love about Fat Tuesday, for example, when I would be there, it was that I always had to be up to date with the college crowd. And the college crowd knew the music that was new more than I did, and I would get the request and I would take it all in. I would write it down, even if it wasn't my style of music. I was more 90s hip hop, but they wanted, the 2000 and stuff like that, and I had to adapt and love it. But they were helping me with my homework is basically it, keeping me afloat, because it is not like my political or my love, kind of music. It doesn't sit with me, but what does is their reaction to how good I'll play their shit. But it always goes back to one reality. A youngster comes in and will fuck me up, even if he's got half the DJ skill, only because he does understand that music. But
absolutely, dude. Here's the twist. You can be Carl Cox, you can be Armin van Helden, you can be,
but here's the twist.
Whatever old school major DJ, and you put them in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
And when I mean the wrong spot is all the people that are going to clubs now are young. You put them in there, and they're saying, dude, who the fuck is this guy with the gap tooth? Get this Carl Cox.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. What? 20,000 for that guy or 100,000? No way. Why?
Yeah, right.
We got this guy for $50 that, or do it for a fucking beer pong.
$50 and he's making everybody hang,
And you're right. But now the twist to the whole story is that most of the times at my events, they don't always sit with just a crowd that's going to be 100% young. I do have that age group that bounces back and forth.
Sure.
So that young kid will never take me out when it comes down to regular day, everyday business. Because the second that I see that the big baller is coming in and he wants to hear something that's a little bit older, I will mix it with that new shit and throw them into a twist. And then that's where I get back my, knowledge base over, your young fire, no wisdom shit, and that saves me. But there is, there's the good and the bad all about it. And luckily that's what keeps me going and keeps me excited. And, that in this whole, new music, old music bullshit.
Right.
So that's that reality.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch the subject anymore. I said already what I thought.
So George, I'm going to ask you another question. Who do you think is the best disco DJ from Miami? Like classics, disco, could be 80s also. Classics. But you can't, not me. You can't put me in there. Because I'm the host.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's not Cito. I can tell you that.
Look
straight out. I love Cito. Nothing wrong with Cito.
So it's not a personal because te miró con una cara fea.
No. Listen,
typical
Cito,
shit he
Cito's
does.
great.
Cito, we love you, but man, hay veces que me das una cara de tranca.
No, I love Cito. Don't get me wrong. I love Nazi. I love them all. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
Cito knows the hits to play. But the problem with Cito is that you can go to his venue and it's the same exact playlist for the last 25 years.
Well, the music hasn't changed.
Over and over.
But the
over
mixes
again.
you're saying, the flow of the mixes, they're repetitive.
Yeah, it's repetitive. It's the same thing, dude. I mean, disco. To me, disco's dead already.
No, listen.
It's cool.
It's
cool. I'm more now into like soulful house and stuff like that, which is way past the disco era.
But then who's your favorite?
I just can't sit there with it.
Who still gives you a little bit of an arousal, and so you say, "Whoa, this guy still got it."
Honestly, none.
There, because I think that your reason for that, choice is that it's the music at the end.
I'm 50 years old. I stay
Bill
young,
James.
Okay. I stay young. As a matter of fact, Bill James, I'm gonna peg him to know more music than Cito does.
Look at that.
Bill James' collection. Listen, Bill James' collection. Not because he's a friend. Bill James' collection of disco is absolutely ridiculous.
And his mixing is fucking on point. Beautiful.
Listen, he's got over 6,000 disco tracks. And I don't mean the Bee Gees and the stuff, all the other stuff that no one's ever heard.
Look, somebody's saying the Chief Raymond. On point. What about Raymond Hernandez?
I don't remember him.
Well, I know him very well. Great fucking DJ too, and he plays disco 80s, whatever. He was a part of I think Majestic Sound DJs back in the day. Really fucking great DJ. And what's up, Bruno Pozzo? But yeah, Bill James. God damn, what an amazing DJ.
Yeah, look, talking about Cito, and Alfie shows up.
What's up, Alfie? Hey, by the way, everybody, before I forget, I gotta mention once again my sponsor for the shit show. It's All Permit Solutions Incorporated. Don't forget, if you need a sign for your business, for anything that you just want a good sign made, it's a physical light up kind of LED or bulb kind of sign, old school, new school, whatever you want. It's All Permit Solutions right there. So don't forget, that's the sponsor. That's the one paying the bills. And wait, before anything, please make sure you like, you share, you do your own watch parties, even after you've done, seeing this whole thing, and go back and share it again and mention, let me mention the YouTube page, which right now is at very slow, but I need it to pick up, because yes, we're all watching here on Facebook, but soon enough, at some point, I would like to have that. Yeah.
I got the video.
But yeah, I want this to, I would really love everybody's support. So, I'm trying to make this show happen and grow from somewhere, from nowhere to somewhere. So if anybody could just keep pushing and sharing and liking and the whole thing, I'd really appreciate it. So back to the show. Go ahead, George.
Nice. No, I don't know.
Okay, let me bring this up, and and anybody out there could answer on this one. What's up with Pioneer? What's going on with the company, with the brand? Anybody?
What do you want? What do you want to say? Yeah, everything's plateaued. What else could they possibly?
What else can they create right now? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah. That basically everything's been made so far. There's been too much.
I said it 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I said a show on the DJ Talk Show. The next thing is for controllers to have hard drives. Guess what? 4 years later, now they have hard drives.
And it's the newest. That's the newest touch on the equipment. Everything's becoming more portable, yet still big size or small. Both options are available, but still brings a topic that it's still the same question. What's up with Pioneer? Because I don't think it has to do with that. There's a lot more you could do. I'm sorry. We're in the business of innovation. Innovation in general. I think that innovation is something that is
okay. Give me one. Give me something that you're lacking in your controller that you don't already have somewhere. Give me one.
You're right.
You're the DJ. You're the guy using the controller. You say, "Oh, I need this."
I want a controller that sends all my mixes directly to the Facebook live stream or the Twitch or wherever the fuck I want, just like OBS.
That's software. That's software.
It might be software, but it could be software within the system. I want the controller to record all my sets, always, and give me the choice to delete them if I don't want them. Always recording.
Okay, it's that's software once again.
But it's within the hard. Everything's, mostly software unless you're adding an extra knob. But it's gonna come with a button that says delete the recording. So there's your hardware.
What you're saying is that you want Serato or Tractor or
my controller to have a dedicated hard disk inside, which is hardware. That's going to record my music, because Serato might take up too much fucking shit on my computer. I want it to always be recording. And then I've said this before. Every DJ has one problem. Whenever you make a fucking incredible mix, is when you're not recording your set. You're fucking hyped up. You've been drinking at the bar and everything's happening. And then when it's all over, you go, man, that was a fucking amazing set. I didn't record it. Because here's what happens. If you press record first, now you're thinking you're recording. Now you got to be good at your mix. Now you want to fucking...
But listen, that's all software. And really the controller has nothing to do with that.
But so I think it does.
If they add a section to record...
but that already exists. No, but that's not what I want.
It does exist, but you have to physically record it. What I'm saying is, if the software has a little little section that you can say, as soon as the software is loaded, start recording every single software.
Always recording.
Every single mix, always recording, and save it at the end of the session. Automatically. That's all software-based.
Software-based, but the problem is that I don't want it to go into my computer. I want it to go into my controller, because maybe the controller...
okay, so you want to put an SD card in there.
Yeah.
And automatically start recording.
Yeah, because then you could take it...
That would be hardware.
That would be hardware within, and I think that, it's something that would be very helpful. It would be, I think, very helpful, and it would save my ass, because so many times...
Do you want me to make you one?
Please? Yeah, I would love that.
I'll make you a little box. I'll make you a little box that you plug in USB to get the power. It'll connect to your RCA out.
Okay.
You'll have a splitter. Either RCA, no, because the RCA you can control. Well, the RCA masters are always on. So.
And I wanted I wanted to limit and compress on its own, and know that it needs the right volume.
You're asking too much, bro.
But that's the thing, innovation. Look, right now, what's the last thing that's come out into the DJ world that's innovative? For example, that whole thing of removing the vocals or the beats, or
virtual DJ. Yeah,
virtual DJ came out with that, and also the iPad version of whatever the DJ app. They came out with that. That's something brand new. That is brand fucking new. And guess what? It's available, and it came out, and it's not on Pioneer. Here's the thing. And I'm not saying Pioneer has to come up with everything, but being the hot shots that they are, the big equipment, the expensive shit, stop sending me the same fucking equipment with a different button and selling it to me as if it's new. It's like somebody stole my bike, painted it red, and resold it back to me. Don't fucking bullshit me. Don't act like if I'm stupid.
You gotta understand. You were living in the disposable industry where every year something has to come out. Everybody gets a phone every year. As soon as a new phone comes out, they want the latest and greatest. Not because it's got little emojis or whatever animation, and they feel they need this, and they'll spend $1,200 on the new phone because it's got that.
Right.
And controllers are the same. As soon as the SX4 comes out, everyone will sell their old ones and get the new one because it has 3 other buttons.
Let me ask you a question. When was the last Pioneer MK? When was the last Pioneer MK3D? Is that the last one?
Yeah, the SRT is the last one as far as Serato is concerned. They have
no, not in controllers. In a standalone, to the MK, the 2000s, for example, of Pioneer.
Oh, the 2000s.
They're big boys. The club fucking, not too long ago.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Here's the thing. Not too long ago, they came out with a mammoth fucking one with a giant screen that it was like fucking. You were gonna.
It looks like a toilet.
Come on, that thing's huge. That was abusive. I think that was a mistake.
It's also like $9,000.
Exactly, and it's the stupidest thing for no reason. It was not going to change anybody's mixing ability in any way, and to find a fucking song better, come on, really? That's bullshit, because it had better audio quality. A fucking dog can't hear the difference. So let's get back to reality. That was bullshit to sell to somebody who needed to say
all the options. Yeah, Mario says it's a Turin Pioneer. Yeah, it's Turin Pioneer. I've never seen anybody with it.
Una mierda.
But what I was saying, Murray said flip studio samples from Serato, and you're good. Yeah, everything is going to be mostly software based, and if you learn how to do the flip and remix on the fly or do the studio, it's nice.
Right.
Those are features that are software based that'll make you a better DJ. But dude, I mean, you can count. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but you can count how many DJs actually take advantage of any of these things. I mean, how many DJs we see live? Everyone, and what are they doing? They have a 4-channel mixer that they only use 2
channels, and a sample
channels,
maybe to drop their names.
Use cue points, right? And they only use cue points, and that's it. They don't use any of the features of what's in front of them. None. So the latest and greatest is not always the same. You can have the latest and greatest, but if you're not going to learn the equipment and learn to do something different with it, what's the point?
So let me ask you, do you think it's becoming like back in the Technique 1200 that there was really nothing else at the time but a Technique 1200? There was, you remember that Techniques was like 10 and something years where that's really it. What else would you want to add to maybe a different needle, a different color? But in reality, it was going to be a Technique 1200, and that's the fucking daddy, of the fucking player. And now Pioneer has the 2000s, and that's the daddy. I mean, really, honestly, change the color, maybe, get a gold one.
That's the daddy, right.
So you really don't need to change much.
Right. And listen, everything is turning into streaming. A lot of people were saying, "Oh my God, I would never stream anything. I would never, get music on the fly."
Egotistical people need to fucking be seen. DJ's got the biggest ego ever.
Right. So listen, everything changes, man. Everything you gotta listen. Here's the way I tell people, because I when I say something, it offends people because I'm telling them what the truth is. They just don't want to see it.
Right.
If you're a DJ and you have skills to mix from A to B and you do it flawless, dude, let me pat you in the back. Okay, you've reached a DJ. That's what a DJ does. The next step is to learn your music selection. Play the music at the right time, okay?
Right.
The next, which nobody does, which is the third, learn your fucking equipment. Learn what else it does.
Yeah, you'd be surprised half the shit that. Hey, listen, I'm guilty of that. I know that there's like maybe 12 other things that my equipment could do. I don't fucking know about, and I'm just treating it at its what's above the hood. I'm not going internal and shit like that. I'm not figuring out,
And that's the other thing. Listen, that's the other thing. I've been watching a DJ, and hear me out. Again, I'm going to rub somebody the wrong way.
Go for it.
And I know a bunch
Please,
of DJs
I love
are watching
rub.
right now. No, dude, you know why? Because I'm just saying shit that because people are stuck in the past. The whole sync thing. I don't use sync, okay? But I don't have anything against it.
Right.
And hear me out. All of the new controllers, I wish they had, by the way, you know what they need to make? A controller with 4 decks. I would love.
With actual 4 decks. Right. Yeah, I'm going to say something about that. I have 4 decks, and I will only use a third deck for an acapella that I'm not comfortable playing unless I got it sunk in properly, and I know that those beats are not going to fall, and I'm not as savvy as those young kids. Go ahead.
Hear me out. I'm critical. I'm a skeptic, and I'm going to look at everything in a logical way. When something actually inspires you, that's new. Like if something inspires me after so many years, I have to look into it. I've been watching a DJ using Tractor. He uses Tractor, and he always plays with three decks.
Okay.
Okay. And guess what? The sync is on. But you know what? I don't have a problem with that because what's coming out is gold.
It's the master of the mix at the end. It's the whole
exactly.
Yeah, the whole. You're looking at what the final outcome is.
You know, when he's mixing one beat, he's adding, subtracting a little bass from another beat. He's got two beats going on.
Right.
Sound completely different.
Can you name the DJ, by the way?
No, I'm not going to name him right now. I'm not because I'm just not. I'll tell you personally.
All right.
I'm not going to name him. And again, I see that as being creative and being fun because.
Right.
Then if you start mashing up, which he doesn't do like new mashups. But let's say if he starts putting an old school beat, which he's an older DJ, and starts mashing up Drake, and then adding a disco tune to it or whatever it might be, since it's all synced, it all sounds good. You still got to kick it in the right top,
right place, right time,
so you can have those two running in the background.
It's orchestrating. I get it.
Yeah. Strike was another one. DJ Strike.
Oh yes.
This is a while ago.
Greg Chin.
He was just using.
Greg Chin.
Yeah.
What's up, Greg?
He was using.
Somebody tag somebody. No, I'm saying somebody tag him on the chat so that he knows, how much we love him. By the way,
that we were talking about.
He's the first DJ I ever booked at a rave. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, that was a name, somebody big. Did a fucking amazing job.
He's a great guy. He started using Tractor. He used a little Tractor controllers. This was a couple of years ago, and everything is synced. Again, everything is synced, and nobody goes to him and say, "Oh, you're not a real DJ because you have the sync button on."
No,
that's bullshit.
At all.
That's bullshit.
I agree. You're on the fucking point 100%.
Be creative. Do and again, I'm not saying that this is what I do all the time because I'll go on and I'll do my break beats and I'll do some drum bass and I'll do some new house and listen, my songs will go out of sync. I can give a fuck if it goes out of sync.
Yeah.
I don't care. Another DJ says, dude, you were fucked up the other day. I go, yeah, I was on my third drink and the mix was gone completely. And you know what? I don't care because why? I was playing new music. I was showcasing new music. And just the fact that I was doing that, you should be happy. At least I wasn't playing the old shit you're tired of playing. Anyway.
Now, let me ask everybody in the crowd, if you're whoever's listening, names, obviously we're all DJs here. Name something you fucking hate about the business. Just one item, something you hate. It could be people requesting, shit, or when this happens, or your, I don't know, your equipment, fails at something, something that just fucking pisses you off on a regular. Something that you just see as a fucking headache. This and that, and moco pegado, that doesn't go away. It's just like you're like, fuck. That just drives you nuts about the business, about DJing. Do you have something, George, on your own? And please write it down for me on the chat.
Please, put right down low ballers. Gordy says low ballers. Low ballers are a pain in the asses, man. They are.
Wait. What does that mean? What do you mean low ballers?
Well, he says low ballers. I guess people saying, we'll pay less or the DJ, another DJ working for less money.
Oh, in general, yeah, I fucking agree. That's it's a terrible situation that we all have to deal with, and then that's what I'm talking about exactly. Something that doesn't really go away. For me,
listen,
go ahead.
Unfortunately, the technology is there for the DJ to buy equipment really cheap. Yeah. Anybody can become a DJ.
Yeah.
It is oversaturated, and that is something that we're going to have to deal with.
Right.
There's nothing. the prices for DJs will start going down, not up. It's never going to go up because there's too many people, and and not only that, the whole industry is just changing to streaming. A lot of people are now streaming. Mm-hmm. A lot of the new kids that are actually paying your salary, are not even listening to radio anymore. Yep. So now you got to learn the music, and there's DJs that'll just do it for nothing. $25, $30, like I said before.
All right, and I'm gonna give you the one thing I fucking hate.
What do you hate?
The most? And there's two of them, actually. There's two things, and the first one is a person that works with me, and let's say I'm at a bar, restaurant, club, and they work in the business with me, but they're not a DJ, and they come up to me and they go, "Oh, dude, you got to get right now. You got to go into this kind of music, not that stuff you're playing."
Oh yeah,
that's the first. Oh, yeah. Listen, you could be 100% right as that person. You could be wrong, but it's not your fucking place.
No, but wait a minute. Is this person a worker or is this person?
It could be.
Check?
Oh, okay, I get your point. Even
is this guy like one of the bar backs or one of the managers? I'm not a manager, but who is?
No, yeah, it's a manager. It's not another staffer that does a different job. Okay. He could look over me.
He's a manager.
He could look over me. Yeah.
Question you.
I know what you're gonna say.
He's a manager, right? He's a manager. He looks over you, correct?
Right.
Let me ask you this: how old is he?
He's gonna be around my age, usually.
Okay, and he wants you to, when he says, "Oh, you got to change it up now," what type of music is he requesting?
Well, that's the whole thing. They, in some sense, really don't have 100% clue what they want me to switch it up to. But what they don't know that I'm doing is that I am not throwing a party before a party, for example.
Correct.
If I'm building up,
eating, you're not gonna go and start playing party music.
And that's usually where this comes from. Like if I'm DJing, I tend to have lounged, funky, cool, vibey. It could be indie, it could be old, it could be mixed up with just everything. But it's still sit down music. You could get up to it, but it's sit down music. It might be fucking Wham. It could be anything.
Okay.
It could be The Weeknd, but it's going to be, more towards that not get up and dance yet. And they look at me and they want me to hype the pre-party.
Right.
And I understand if I, sometimes, you might have 50 people and your max is 300, but with those 50 people, if you start building them up, they get excited. More people notice that, and they start walking in, and it builds energy. I know that. I know that's going to happen. But the problem is that you've already seen me do this. You've already seen me pack your dance floor. You've already seen me get everybody crazy. What do you think is going to be different about this time? Why do you think that maybe I haven't jumped the gun?
Right. I saw that. That's a difficult way to handle that.
That's my artistry. That's what you hired me to do. That's honestly to know exactly when is the right time, and I don't want to jump the gun.
I've seen a bar.
Go ahead.
I went to see this DJ perform, and the bar manager kept on going over to the DJ, saying, "Hey, play reggaeton now," and then he would come back, and then another two tables would come in or whatever, and he'll go back to the DJ, "Hey, play hip hop," or and it's like back and forth. So the DJ was playing like two songs reggaeton, 2 songs hip hop, 2 songs whatever, and then when the group was actually getting down to, let's say, the hip hop, he played a little bit more tracks on hip hop, but the manager kept on coming back over and over again.
He doesn't give the guy a chance to vibe.
Right. And then the thing is, I said, dude, why doesn't the manager just DJ or put a playlist?
Yeah, well, they want both. They want the DJ and they want the DJ to play what they want to hear. And
so then the DJ DJ should just stand there, pretend he's doing something,
and
then let the playlist that the manager set up play.
Even then, but here's the problem: that even as a playlist, he would, if he could tell the playlist to play something else, he would, because that guy's never satisfied. That guy's just got too many great ideas all day.
Okay, that goes on in every.
It does. It happens everywhere.
If you listen. If you start DJing events where there's 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, all the way to 20, I would say even 28, bro, it's a constant changing of the music.
Oh,
it's changed to this.
ADD.
Go to the other one. Go to this. Oh, no, not that track. Use this track.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Nonstop.
I agree. Now, here's the number 2 most annoying fucking thing you could do to me. Come up to me, request a song, and wait right there for me to play it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you fucking wait and stand there and look at me like, wait, you're waiting for me to type it in and have it ready to go.
Right.
I'm gonna send you to go fuck yourself. And I do. And listen, I listen to whatever anybody says. You come up to me and you're like, hey, can you play Taylor Swift, whatever song, and I know most likely it's gonna suck, but it's like, come on, it's Taylor Swift. Right. But I remember that they say Taylor Swift. I'll usually go ahead and remember the artist and the song, to the best of my ability, and then I will at some point prep it and have it under prep, just so that I can listen to it, just in case it's a good idea. Maybe it is. But am I gonna play it right now for you? Right now, am I going to search for it right now? No, because I might be doing, I'm working. I'm right now maybe getting another song ready. I'm on a flow. I got, shit moving. Now, you tell me that, and you put $50 next to it, I'm your fucking man. Everything changes. You're the sweetest person in the world, and I fucking love you for that, because now, at least you made the trouble worth the while.
Again, and not going back to it, because I really honestly, we should change the subject or go to something else. But I use that, and this is a tip. This is a tip for other DJs. And again, if you're against receiving money to play music, then don't listen to what I have to say, because apparently. Right. Apparently DJs asking for tip money rubs people the wrong way. If that's not, you might have a different situation. But if I'm at a bar, okay, or a lounge that they're there because they're drinking, they're not there to dance. They're there just to chill, and they're there just to listen to me hang out or whatever, and play music as almost background music. And you come up to me and you tell me, play this. If the song is correct, I'll play it.
Of course.
If the song is wrong, I will say, write it on a $10 bill and put it in the cup.
How about when the $10 bill and the song is destructive to your point of,
Okay. Decade, if you're still on, please let me know. Okay.
Oh,
I was spinning at a lounge. It's a lounge. A great example. I was spinning at a lounge, and the music was I was playing housey, vibey stuff, and this group came in. It looks like out of towners came in, and this guy was in early 30s. I mean, let's say 30. Okay. He walks in, and he requests Piano Man. Okay. I didn't have it. I don't know why I didn't have. What is Billy Joel?
Right, great song.
Piano Man. Okay, I didn't have it. But since I had the Serato thing with the subscription, I was able to put it in. Immediately, I got the Wi-Fi password, set up a hotspot, and I was able to pull it in. That gave me $100 just to play the one fucking song. Now,
fucking Italians, probably.
Right. So I'm like, this is really going to throw the vibe out, because I'm playing like soulful house. And now all of a sudden I got to whip out Piano Man.
Yeah, that's so a fucking.
Said, I got on the mic. Right. I got on the mic and said, listen, we had a special request from an out of towner, and he wants to hear the song, blah, 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 whatever.
Great way to do it.
Song. Right. I got it. And they went and they started dancing. And not only that, other people in the place started singing the song.
Of course.
So even though it was an older song, even though it didn't flow with the location, They loved it. And the guy gave me $100.
And here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with a good time, you know, and no matter where or what the situation is, sometimes it's like that, you know, there's something that just doesn't flow in your head because you would have never done it. But when they throw it at you, you could see how it could work.
It could work.
And it's all in your process, you know, how you do it.
Now, it's not all the same. It's not always.
And by the way, everybody, don't throw in a house remix of Piano Man at that moment because you have one.
The original.
Because if you fucking do that, I will personally drive to wherever the hell you're at and slap you and then come right back home and watch it again and again and again just to satisfy myself.
Yeah, no. I played the original.
Oh,
But you know, listen. Sometimes things work, but listen, I use those low paying venues as a way for me to make money on the side. Fat Tuesdays was a number one for that. I always had a tip jar, and I always watched at least minimum $40.
Yeah, yeah. And the drunker they got, the more you would get.
Right. Bill's my witness. How much money I made in Fat Tuesdays one night. You know, and again, it's not all the time, but you just have to work. You know, think outside the box, make it work for you. If you're at an event and people are requesting the stupid music, you know, write it down, keep it in mind. Even though it's not your style, you might play somewhere else. You might make somebody happy.
Of course,
and you're there to make people happy.
Of course. Now let me ask. Here's a question once again for everybody and for you: drinking on the job, yes or no?
I drink 4 drinks and that's it.
So answer back, everybody. We want to know your answer. Walter, I know your answer. Decade, I know. No, I don't know your answer. Decade.
Decade's
funny.
Drink.
Yeah.
Decade doesn't drink, and the only reason he drinks is because I'll go there and I'll get him a drink and he'll drink it. But
Decade eats. Decade eats at the place, just
Decade
like George.
Loves to eat, yeah.
Decade and George will show up to the location, and I think it's in your contracts. You get a meal prior to feed me first, motherfucker.
I'll be here an hour and a half earlier.
Yeah, and you eat before you actually gig, which here's the thing: I cannot do that, and nothing wrong with it. It's just I get sleepy. If I eat before I DJ,
you get Again, the truth is, you get there 30 minutes late, so you can't.
And you're, fuck you, bitch. Because I know how to set up in 20 minutes, and everything always works.
Mentira.
No,
that's a lie, by the way, guys.
Yeah, he knows
that's
nothing.
Me fucking with it. Hans has been around way longer than I have.
And here's the thing. All right, so let me see. We got Walter saying yes and moderately. Panos says fuck yes, and I will attest to that. Panos, they will actually have to start taking shit away from him. They're like, hey, buddy, you got like a collection of fucking beer cans going out. So, you know, that's one person.
No, listen, there's DJs that just get out of hand. They start drinking, and the thing is the problem is the drinkers. If they get on the mic and they start talking, they start slurring the words.
Yeah,
and they start getting really arrogant.
Yeah,
and that's really
I used to do that. I used to do that on Fat Tuesday.
Fuck, all the girls, fuck us.
Dude,
like, dude, relax, dude.
I did this 1 year at Fat Tuesday, you know, and I always drank like a motherfucker at Fats, and I would get up on the mic, I was sober and drunk. And it didn't matter. I would always get up on the mic and talk shit. But I remember one time I was just so fucking belligerent. It was, fucking... And this girl came up to me, and I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, oh, play this song for me. Oh, show me your titties. And, you know, this is all on the mic. And she's like, and, you know, you remember Rhonda was our manager, and Gio and all these people were there. And, you know, we have a woman manager, so it's kind of like not cool to be saying, show me your tits.
No.
That was typical me. That's how I did it, you know. And I'm like, show me your tits. And then she's like, yeah. And I go, wow, what the fuck are those? because they were tiny. I'm like, and I go, put them away. And then later on, I'm like, wow, that was terrible, man. That was just so fucking rude, you know. And I thought it was funny as hell, but I'm sure that there were people that were like, man, that was not cool. And I'm like, that's over drinking and thinking you're fucking cool.
If I would hire a personal DJ to do an event for me, like literally I'm there and they're doing a party for me, I don't mind if the guy drinks a couple of beers.
I will say like this, but I will let them know. I will let them know. Listen, you know, you can have as many drinks as you think you should be able to.
Exactly.
Be smart and be professional. That's all that I ask. Because in my case,
now, you know what does bother me?
What?
You know what does bother me? The smokers.
Oh. I will talk to you about that. And funny thing, and this goes to some of my friend DJs that smoke. I hate when I hire my guys, a DJ that I find out is DJing and takes a cigarette break, walks away from the system, goes outside, and smokes a cigarette. I don't care. You have 4 hours to DJ.
Yeah, you can't hold your fucking cigarette for 4 hours.
And that drives me crazy. And by the way, I've let go of DJs for that, and I mentioned it to them. They know it's no surprise. It's no secret. I don't like that because in the same exact manner, I will hold my piss. And I mean, you know, listen, you got to go to the bathroom. You got to go to the bathroom. I get it. You know, maybe but that whole walk away thing from the system. No, does not fly with me. I will usually, you know, you got to be a really great DJ.
You know, and hear me out. I don't know because, and here's the funny thing. What bothers me again, I'm a little weird like this, but what bothers me, not only does the guy goes and smokes the cigarette outside, but he smokes it so fast. When he comes in, he smells like he fucking burned down the Trade Center.
Yeah, I mean,
this guy smells like concentrated arson.
Yeah.
Okay? You know? And then he starts breathing on you like, the song's almost empty. And then he blows that stink-ass breath of fucking fire barbecue in your face.
Yeah, because of the rush. I get it. I totally 100%. Right. So, yeah, that's a pet peeve. Big time. All right, here's the next question. How do you find your music? And I know, George, how you find your music. I know some of your techniques.
Gig? What do you mean? You just said gig?
No, how you find music, like music that you're going to play as a DJ. Where do you go? How do you, what's your process to getting new music? You know, most of us do the same thing, but
mainstream, mainstream music, I get it from a good friend of mine that's online now. I'm not going to say who it is. And believe it or not, I hit Spotify to learn new music. The new music that's out.
Isn't it great?
Go to the Spotify list and listen to what's hot. You know what's playing. Just to open up my brain a little bit.
And here's the thing about Spotify. They really do it. It's an algorithm of, you know, what people are really listening to, and, you know, it's as real as it gets, you know, because if a bunch of people are listening to this brand new song, it's not like they're throwing you a track that you're being pushed. You know, it's not payola, you know, that kind of shit, you know. It's something new, and people are listening to it because they found out through the grapevine, or there's the little groups of people that just happen to know about that new band and they came out with a track. It's going to become a big hit right away. Spotify will let you know it's new music out there that's really good, you know, in different genres in general, which indie, by the way, has a lot of it. That you're like, amazing. So many fucking amazing songs.
Yeah, I get encouraged. Listen, I get encouraged. I get motivation when I go and I hit Spotify and look for a new track. And then from new track, I'll go and see what other, you know, playlists that are also playing that track. And then you discover songs one after another that are really hot. And I think that works for me. Now, this is for my personal taste, and for my personal music, and when I'm doing the lounge. When I'm playing the lounges, I'm playing stuff that I've acquired from Spotify, at least the artist.
Gotcha. And now let me ask you a question.
I'm not talking about mainstream. Not talking about mainstream.
Right, of course. And now here's the other thing. And when you're mixing, if you're in a perfect location, you're in a Soho lounge in fucking New York, and you're out of town, and you've got this great group of people that are open-minded, ready to dance or ready to listen, vibey, happy, cool, fucking, good-looking crowd. What kind of music do you like to play to them?
I've been I don't want to call it soulful house, because soulful house to me is a little bit too gospel, and what I call it like the screaming diva. I don't like all of that screaming diva, but I like new house tracks, like for example Billy Porter, his new song that just came out. It's a beautiful song. It's got a lot of lyrics, and if you get the extended version, it's got a
so
great.
You like deep soulful sounds, but you like good lyrics, not churchy yelling.
Not churchy. No, not churchy.
I get it. And which, by the way, speaking of that, I've been listening to Mario, and I think I said this before. He plays a soulful kind of like lovey, kind of happy, sweet, romantic house, which has some of the, soulful, I'm not going to say churchy, but, very diva-ish, kind of songs in there too, which are not my favorite, but in between there's these fucking great tracks that he drops in that I wouldn't even know how to start to find them, and I wouldn't even pick them myself, but great sets, of just good soulful kind of like vocally stuff.
For the last, I think, year, I've been strictly playing that style of music.
Now, do you get to play it at locations? Yeah. Okay. That's
at the two locations where I have residencies. I've been strictly playing that style of music, and I get compliments all the time. And not only that, when I was working at this one high-end place, I don't say the names because I don't post where I work online. They they're high-end clients, and they tip very, very well. And I've gotten a couple of jobs from them.
Nice.
And they're very good paying jobs. If you get that style, because if you're hanging out with the people that are spending big money to eat and spending big money to drink, and they love your style, you can charge whatever you want. They're going to want you. They want, they'll come up to me and they're like, dude, are you from New York? I'm like, no, I was born here. I was born in New York, but I was raised here. He goes, dude, this music is just phenomenal.
Well, it's a funny thing you mentioned that. There you have that, when you've lived somewhere else, like.
And again, by the way, and it's music that I just learned.
Right.
So it's not music that I'm like, oh my God, I've known this track for years. No, I just learned that song.
Well, you want to hear a funny one? I was DJing in the Keys, and I was playing like vibey, cool house music. There was a lot of new stuff, very indie, new disco and stuff like that. And this guy, he was definitely British. Came up to me, a black guy, and he looked like Seal, as a matter of fact. And I was like, man, this guy looks just like Seal, minus the scrape. And he's like, have you ever heard of Todd Terje? And I'm like,
what?
He said, have you ever heard of Todd Terje? And I said, oh, Todd Terry. Yeah, Todd Terry. He goes, no, Todd Terje. And I'm like,
the other guy,
Todd Terje.
Right. Like, I never knew how to pronounce that, by the way.
Well,
I'm glad you said it.
So basically, I had never heard of Todd Terje, never, but I'm like, if he sounds like Todd Terry, then maybe, he actually goes to me, he goes, yes, in similar times, DJs from similar times. And I'm like,
yeah.
And he gave me a song, the name of a song, and he said Inspector Norse.
I'm looking at it right now.
And there's a version that's like about 7 or 10 minutes long. It's long. It's the longest one you can find.
Right.
this guy,
Right.
There's producers and there's producers and there's producers, and you know, I'm not saying one is better than the other at certain things, but there's producers that are meant to give you music for mixing, for extended, slow, on point build-ups, journey mixing. And Todd Turgey is a fucking genius to that. If you and by the way, everywhere I play that one track or many other ones, Bicycle Something, and he made a Jolene remix, you know, different things that he's made. The guy,
by the way, I play that one.
Okay. So you know,
it works.
It works anywhere.
And again, because hear me out. It's different music than what you're used to playing, and some people do like that. And if you're in the right place, if you're at the right location, and you're creating a cool vibe, you're not doing the mainstream vibe. This is a vibe.
It is a
and
vibe.
I saw that at Winter Music Conference. I think it was DJ Solomon from I can't remember.
I know who you're talking about, though.
This was a while back ago, and the vibe was just great. And you know what? They were all young, and I'm all for it. I loved it, and I just ever since that day, I just been playing. I try to play some of those tracks.
Well, why do you think I love those kind of pool parties, or those kind of like places where the music should not be too loud, and it should be just a place where you could sit down, you could talk. You know. As a matter of fact, there used to be a party, the Bagatelle brunch party, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing party, and what I loved about it, they used to play it on Sirius XM, and it was all about music. It was not about anything else. It was they have very different DJs play, but every DJ brought their fucking A game, and you would hear DJs playing not because a song was a hit, not for mixing crazy build-ups or things like that. It was all about just sounding clean on the mix and giving you tracks. It could be they would play anything from Simple Minds, Our House, it could be an 80s song, it could be a house track, it could be, something very electronic, early 70s, 80s, George Marauder kind of thing. They would not stick to one particular style, but it was always just flowing in a sensible way.
In a sensible way. Talking about Wynwood a couple of years ago before it turned into reggaeton and bachata town. Graham, they had the DJ. The DJ would go to Radioactive, the music store, and he would get like a crate he would dig for music. And I guess the guy had connections with that, so he would bring a crate of music of 12 inches.
Records, yeah.
And they were older. And he would bring them, but with the music he's playing, none of it you'll know.
Are you talking about was it at Gramps?
Yeah, over at Gramps.
He had a little van or something like that?
No. He's playing there. He's playing at Gramps.
Okay.
On the stage. So he would grab a collection of records. He would bring crates of records, and he's playing off the crate. But the music he's playing, since a lot of it he doesn't know what it is, but it sounds good to him.
Right.
If you're there for 3 hours, you might pick out 5 songs that you know. Okay,
that's beautiful.
You might, because he's playing the B-sides or whatever collection he brought. But as long as he
rare shit
determined it and he liked it, he's playing it. I can tell you what, everyone is dancing. Nobody knows what the fuck he's playing, that everybody is vibing, and there's nothing better than to feel that vibe when you're playing something that no one's ever heard, and they're all fucking banging to it.
What's that place in South Beach?
Everybody's young.
Well, there's this place in South Beach, it's right next to The Weekend or Planet, whatever. The place is some shit like... Kill Your Idol.
Kill Your Idol.
That there was a DJ there at Kill Your Idol that did exactly that. He brought records that were insane, that you were just like, how there was a curation of fucking music that had to be picked and looked for a long ass time. And here's the better part of it. The guy fucking, for being that these are records that most of the time you don't hear them and they're not always meant for mixing, this guy knew how to find the perfect little break to throw in the other one and then the other one would be, and it was the cleanest mixing. Maybe it's the same guy, by the way. Maybe it might be.
It could be.
Because I don't think that there's too many of these gems out there, which, I call gems. Go ahead.
I've been to several times Kill Your Idol, several times, and the DJs, most of those DJs are what we call it, like the Paradise Garage style DJs. The only problem I have with the Paradise Garage style music is that they have, and again, I tell you as is, and I know I'm going to get haters, they only play the music Larry Levan played. So if Larry Levan didn't play it, they're not playing. And then every DJ, every Paradise Garage party you go to, they play the exact same 30 songs. Day in and day out. So I try to stay away from that. But there's other DJs. If you look up Victor Rosado, he has a high-end stereo system, all Macintosh, clip speakers, high-end stuff, Thorens, turntables, the Bozak mixer, and he's playing vinyl. He buys records from Japan. He buys, all the new shit. A lot of
this guy's a stereophile. This
guy's a stereophile, and you're discovering this music that it starts getting in your stream, in your bloodstream. How good this music is. And this is what I'm saying. DJs could look at something else other than the standard music. Look outside the box.
Of course.
I posted Shapeshifters, the Billy Porter song that just came out, like now 3 weeks ago. That's a little bit more vocals because this is the vocal radio edit.
Right.
That's the style of music that I've been playing. And it's working. It's working for me,
Well, it's tasteful. It's tasteful music. It's like when it's like, for example, whenever you go to a certain place and you look at how somebody picks out furniture and you go, wow, this person has the style. They understand how to make something fucking look cool. And then there's the other person that you could tell that everything came from Kia. At their best.
Exactly.
There's the Kia kind of DJ, and then there's that one fucking guy with the gem again, that you're like, this guy has fucking taste. And not only that, you look at their shoes and you're like, holy shit.
Everyone, all the viewers that are online now that are DJs, we all know what's hot, whatever we grew up with.
That's the simple part.
We know what gets people on the dance floor, and the music is just great. Decade is one of those DJs that play, he plays a lot of the newer stuff. He'll get
all the way,
a whole back
100%.
songs.
And if it ain't new, he's having a hard life.
No, he likes new stuff.
Listen,
new
Decade, which I'm sure he's still on, will call me, hey, you got any new music? He's like, and if I tell him that I've been digging, he's gonna fucking hound me until he gets it, because he loves to just play direct. And we had a conversation about this, because as much as look, it's great to play new music, and I'm all for it, and I think that that's an exciting time when you're playing new music. It's like a new toy. Of course, you're like, oh shit, oh look what that just did. It's great, but it also takes away sometimes from that mixability of knowing that break of that song you played maybe 3 times, 4 times. When you just grab a crate and it's brand new, like he'll grab a bass house crate and he won't go through it. He'll just play it. He'll play right through it. And that's where mistakes are made in your mix. That's where there's a little bit of sloppy, ness and stuff like that, because you don't, if I did the same thing, I'd do the same thing. I'd be a little bit off on the game because I didn't know that song was going to go into some fucking out of nowhere thing that I misread reading, the colors on on the waves and stuff like that, which is how we do now.
And a lot of that, if you don't know these songs, let them play through.
Yeah, of course.
It's not.
Don't be dangerous.
We don't have to do the ADD. Don't. Yeah, when you're playing those hits and those underground tunes like that.
Yeah, buy them some time.
There's no need for the ADD. Yeah, let it ride.
Well, listen, house music is not ADD music. If you're ADD, correct, you cannot listen to house. And now I'm gonna get into something very interesting, which you just kind of like reminded me of. And, in this world of house music and stuff like that, I'm very bothered when sometimes, like, for example, if I miss out on not that I even go out that much anymore, but when I hear somebody who, like, I know at work is always listening to Drake and all this shit, and then they come at me and the first thing they go is like, bro, this fucking weekend I was over at Treehouse and they had DJ Paulino Trubetti Capaca, fucking name like that. And bro, he fucking killed it till like 7 a.m. And we were all fucking, vibing. Man, this guy was the shit. And then, I'll hear that DJ and I'll be like, oh, he played a cool set. Yeah, that's a nice set. It was a fucking mediocre set. Nothing exciting. And I look at the person again and I'm like, I could fucking do that set 10 times better. But you're not going to say the same outcome, not because of any other reason, but because you were just trying to let me know how fucking cool you were, that you went to a place that is not even a place that I'm sure when you were there that night, it was not fucking cool and vibey. Like you were fucking going, bro, man, can we go somewhere else, bro? And bro, no, man, I'm trying to listen to the other guy that really likes house music. It's like, no, man, I came here for this guy. He's like, oh man, come on, bro. But then they leave the party and he makes the fucking bullshit story that he had the greatest time at Space or Treehouse or whatever Heart, and that they listen to Duke Dumont, and I'm like, really? You have the capacity, to listen to fucking empty ass music that is amazing, but not for you, and you're gonna tell me you had the fucking best time? Either you were on some fucking heavy ass drugs, and it wouldn't have mattered what you would have heard. It would have all been beautiful anyway, because you were your fucking body was just shivering and loving life, or you're bullshitting me and you're trying to act cool to show me how fucking open-minded and cool, in general you are. And that's the story of house music. It's barely ever just, great fucking time and the whole thing. It's a bunch of phonies saying how much they love house music, giving you a name. I love it when they come up to me and tell me, hey, play some Tiesto. I'm like, listen, Tiesto makes really shitty music, but but when he goes out and he does his sets for a real set, like when they want to hear play Tiesto, he doesn't play his songs. He plays fucking really hard, beautiful techno that you might say, wow, that's amazing, but that's not in the United States usually. That's somewhere the fuck else.
Right.
And that's the reality.
Down here, this is why I seem upset, because when Wynwood first opened up down here, all the unique DJs that were working at the locations were unique DJs.
They were great.
DJ, some other, and they were playing music that was not on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, I met a couple of them.
Experimental,
and this
open.
is what I like.
Yeah.
Open. Just open. They were giving it their style. I don't remember the last time that, other than like if somebody says, oh, hey, no, George, I'm spinning off at Tuesdays, come over and hang out. Okay, fine, I'll hang out with you. But for me to get up from my bed and say, you know what, I'm going to go check out this DJ at a location because I like the style of music he's playing.
Right.
And I felt that way as a DJ. That's what I loved about it. And then
of course
it just got commercialized. And this is why I always tell people,
it always gets screwed.
Yeah. And enjoy, the Tiesto, even though he makes his music for the commercial masses,
Right.
When he's playing at an event, he's not playing Tiesto music.
At all. And I look at those people and I'm like, you don't get it. You know, whenever they say something like that, I'm like, stupid. You know, that's what I think in my head. You know, you're like, you're fucking, trying to show off to me and you're looking really retarded. It's like when you get that guy that comes up to you and says, hey man, I used to be a DJ, and they look at your equipment and they're like, and they go, oh dude, but I used to do it with the turntables. And 80% of the time, these guys were a friend of a DJ, and they maybe touched the equipment 2 times. They didn't even know how to DJ. They never actually even DJ'd, but they wanted to let you know how they are even fucking cooler than you, walking into the, wedding or some house party that you're doing, and you're like, you nod your head like saying, shut the fuck up, you idiot. That's the reality,
I think it's all about music selection, your personal taste. If you're into freestyle and you grew up with freestyle and you love freestyle and that's what you like, that's in your bloodstream. You're always going to refer back to that. Yeah. And that's okay. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
But there is other music out there.
So much more.
And like I said, going back to what you used to do on the radio. When you were playing, what was it? Not Rhythm. What was the name of the
Mega?
station you were working? Oh, what's that?
Mega 103.5.
When you
disco
were doing the mixes. Yeah.
Oh
no, you were doing mixes for one of the stations.
Oh no, Wild 95.5. I was doing house and dance.
That's it. You weren't playing the music that everybody knew.
Oh no, here were the rules. By the way.
Right.
I'll tell you how it worked. I offered myself, to them because I knew that there was a slot that was empty and it's late. Mm-hmm. And I knew that they were going to allow me to play house, but within the 3rd or 4th song, there was going to be something popular. But in between that 3rd or 4th song, I was going to play some good fucking house music. It was like there was a give and take, but I was gonna go and dig deep, and every week, by the way, I made sure that the songs were almost always a whole different set. And I even told Aramis one time, I'm like, hey, every week my set of 2 hours is different. And he's like, no man, you can't do that, man. And
you can't do that.
He told me like that. I remember I'm hanging out at my sister's balcony outside with him, and I'm like trying to let him know. I was showing off a little to him the fact that I would curate a set of different house music because there's so many incredible songs out there. But then he told me something that was very real, and I didn't even understand it then when he told me. It hit me later. Yes, you can do that. And it's awesome. And some people will, look back at it and say, like maybe you said, that was amazing, man. This guy was playing like songs I never knew, and they were awesome songs, that were not radio songs, that maybe never will be radio songs. And that's awesome. Now, I go back to today, trying to be a DJ that's, has popularity behind everything else. And if I choose to play only the songs that are awesome but never heard or brand new and stuff like that, I will never have a follower. So what do I have to do? I have to play the songs that are cool, but I've already played them over 100 times. And this set will be played again and again and again. And now my crates become smaller.
Right. Yes, because that's what all headliner DJs do. They set up a set of let's say 30 songs or 40 songs in their arsenal.
Okay.
And they'll play that set for 3 months at every single club. Everywhere you go, he's playing the exact same 30, 40 songs.
Here's a perfect example, and tag her so she knows we're talking about her. Jessica who? Jessica, who is
absolutely
great fucking DJ. I look up to her. Beautiful, great, a real DJ. You know, she could throw down anything, turntables, pioneer. You know, whatever the fuck. She's a real DJ, real fucking DJ. Once again, and she played for Aramis over at Grand Central, and I DJ'd with her a couple of times back in the day, and when I first heard her, I said, wow, fucking amazing. This girl not only threw a great house set, but then she threw in a hip-hop set, and she did it with, like, fucking, like, brute style. Like, she, like, threw them in like a man. You know, not being sexist, but, you know, not like a girl with the little buttons and the fingers, you know, holding the channels like if they're, you know, sensitive buttons. You know what I mean? She threw it like a man, and that I was impressed. And then I listened to her another time at Live. So I would go often to the Pop Life parties over at Live that I think they were Wednesday nights. And I heard her the first time open up for somebody else. Great set. Great fucking set. The selection was awesome. Then I went the following Wednesday. Same set. Then I went the following. Same set. 7 weeks in, I'm hearing the same set in exactly the same form. You know what I mean? Wait, I think I lost George. Well, I might have lost George.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, I'm here.
Okay, so basically,
I hit you by mistake.
She is doing the same set 7 weeks, 8 weeks in a row. Exactly the same. I'm talking about down to the wire.
Yeah, okay, but that's a little bit too much.
It is, but here's the thing. Understand something. I was boggled by two things, and by the understanding that her set was great. So it's a functional set. It always works, and it works at Live. People come in, they start dancing. She builds it up until this one song, and great set. But if you're the person that comes every week, you feel like, you know, you were cheated your money, because I want to hear her play something else. Go ahead.
Okay, we mentioned Cito, and what did I say about Cito?
Right.
Plays the same 30 songs over and over again for the last 25 years.
Correct. But here's the thing. It's a little more apples and oranges, only because he's playing classics. So there's only certain songs, even though there's so many.
But hold on. But there's other classics.
Yeah, no, you're right. There are other classics. It's just not the same 30.
It doesn't have to be the same 30 songs.
You're right. Now, but here's my thing that I kind of like said to myself, and then I started understanding what Aramis meant. It's a way of kind of like, let's say you're a singer. You're not going to start singing somebody else's song because you want to cheat the people, you know. You want to, like, hey, you know, I should either come out with.
Sing your songs to make yourself noticeable.
So those were her songs. It's the way that I saw it. These were her handpicked tracks that she will play again and again and again because she's portraying a style.
Nora and Pure is another one.
Oh.
You ever heard her music?
No.
Okay, so she's another woman DJ. She started doing that. She started producing her songs, and when she goes out to play, she plays her songs. Got it.
But it's her songs.
Well, yeah, it's her songs. She'll mix it up, but mostly.
But it's her songs. Now this but Jessica is playing other people's music.
Right, she's getting a name because of she's also producing, which is kind of cheating. But I don't know. I think if you are a regular mainstream DJ and you're always playing the same style of songs and selections, doesn't make you any different than any other DJ out there.
Correct.
Because now you really have no uniqueness to it. If I say I'm going to go check out, and it's hard. It's hard for me to say. But people aren't accepting
but they're not accepting your uniqueness. Here's what they're accepting: that at midnight you're gonna play Psycho Killer, and you're gonna yell Psycho Killer and turn it down, and everybody's gonna yell ba 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 ba, you know, and they already know it's coming at midnight. And right before that, you play Donna Summer. And everybody knows that next up is Psycho Killer. And we're going to
they're ready for that.
And if you don't deliver Psycho Killer, because you've already trained them 12 weeks in a row, you get my point? Somewhere along the line, you became a circus act or an orchestra, the main person, and your music transcends to the crowd, and the crowd knows what they're gonna do, and that builds them back, and they will, instead of saying, oh, because man, she plays the same fucking music every fucking week, what happens is that they say, man, it was fucking amazing. I couldn't wait for that fucking Psycho Killer moment. And I yelled it out and I got excited. And that's where she's banking. She's banking on that, not new music.
Well, then in other words, she has a show.
It's a show. It is a show.
It's a show. So, and not only is it a show,
is it wrong?
I noticed when she's DJing, she's actually animated.
Yeah, she is. Listen, I won't ever take anything away from her because she is a great DJ. She could mix anything else, absolutely. And I don't judge her for her skill set. And I'm not judging her for what she's doing repetitively. I actually look up to her because she found a niche and found a way to make herself more noticeable. On top of the fact that you're not gonna say, oh, because she's hot, she made it. No, listen, there's a lot of hot girl DJs that don't make it. You gotta have skill too. Sometimes
she got everything she learned from a lot of people. Yeah, and like you're saying, it's different. She programs basically a set. She does the same set over and over again.
Yeah,
and it's a show. And if that works for her, and you and I are talking about it, it means that it's something good. Because if I know her and you know her, then that's pretty damn good.
And fucking love her name, and Jessica who.
Yeah,
it's so 80s in a sense, and I don't know. There's a lot of coolness to her, and hats off to Jessica. So
yeah, Walter's asking why can't she do the same set but just mix it up. And like you said, people are waiting for that certain.
They're waiting for the bang. It's like, listen, Walter, if I was a chef and I kept making you different meals, let's say 3 items.
You ordered a steak, and every time you ordered the steak would be different.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if I come at you and on my steak I put 2 pieces of garlic in the middle, and then I squeeze them and I push them down. And I put a little parsley on top of that, and you love the way that tasted, and I do it on every meal, and then one day I take it off, you almost feel like cheated. I trained you.
You're like,
I
hey, what
trained
happened
you.
to the little clove?
Yeah, man. Oh, man, that's a fucking shit. What happened?
Listen, I see his point. And that's the same thing. I said, well, if you're gonna play the same 30 songs, at least mix it up.
But no, it doesn't work that way.
If it works, listen. If it works for her, let her do what she does.
And correct. And man, I used to make fun of it at times. I'm not like a dick. I used to be like, hey, I know what's coming next. next. And I'll be like, and I would do that, and Aramis would look at me probably like, yeah, okay, fuck you, idiot.
I posted.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say I posted two of the songs that I've been playing lately.
Sharing is caring.
Taola, which is Freedom. That's like really one of my favorite songs of the style that I've been playing. That has a move background synth. Her voice is phenomenal. It's such a great feeling song that if you don't like it, then obviously it's not your style.
Right.
But this song, you don't know how many compliments I get when I play that. And that's the style that I'm going with.
No, and it feels good. It's a style that feels good in your set, and not only that, you're not weirding people out. It's a likable, feel good style. Right. You've compromised without compromising.
Right. And it's funny because you're saying the same set. I do the same. I don't have the same set in the same order, but I do play the same song over and over again every weekend.
And nothing wrong with that.
Right. I add a couple more to it. No, because you know what it is? I don't know the style. I'm learning the style. So I just keep on adding.
Yeah, and you're making that folder bigger and bigger and bigger, and then there's a day when you remove one because it's feeling out of place and stuff like that. And you're curating it.
Yeah, it's feeling out of place.
Yeah, and that's the best way to listen. If you're going to build crates, that's, I have two ways of building crates. I have crates of new music, and then I have crates of particular places or styles. And that crate is never ending changes. There's going to be songs that get moved out of there because they did their job, they did their thing, but now they're out of place. They're like, a style that was last summer, kind of thing. Right. And you move in other stuff, and then there's a song that'll come back out of nowhere. There's a Ghost of Venice remix of Ghost of Venice remix from I forgot who right now, but the song has a sample of Your Body, I Don't Want Nobody.
Nobody, right.
And it has the original sample, and everybody probably knows the song, but the Ghost of Venice remix is just basically taking the original sound with the original song and making it a little more housey. And I will play that any given fucking place, any time. And new people and old people both will compliment
they know the original song, and then the new people just hear it vibey and they love it.
But it was done so tastefully and extended properly, not too far, not too short. And, you hear it and you're like, man, that's fucking amazing. It's a sweet fucking melody. Everything, it feels right. And you could almost remember if you were going to space in the times when space was something good, not something gastado or whatever. It was something, that song was a major hit then, and it has that sound, but it's not that song, and it's like all these great things about it. And I take it out of the crate, and then every once in a while I put it back in. It's like, 10 years old at least. But, and if I find it, I'll post it later on the chat. So look out for that. Yeah. By the way, everybody, if would love some likes, would love some shares, would love some, reminders, to join the shit show group. Basically, we're trying to make this grow. I'm trying to make this grow. I'm trying to make a living, people. And I want to say thank you to All Permit Solution Incorporated, my boy Andy in the house. I think he's on now, and everybody that's always basically on here, supporting what we're doing. It's a small start, but it comes from the heart. It's all real, and it's a lot of shit talking just to whatever the hell we could talk about, and I want to thank George because, by the way, George is the guy who got me started in this whole idea. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, bud.
He saw something. Right.
I saw the shit.
He saw a bunch of shit, and he's like, maybe this guy could shovel it. So yeah, but
good.
But basically, I'm enjoying this. So I'm gonna keep doing this on a weekly basis, and I would love to get more members and more guests, and jump in on different topics. So if you got an idea, throw it my way. And if anybody wants to help me organizing my shit, I can't afford much right now, but I would love to have somebody help me organize this so I could better the situation of how to market and push it, so that not fighting because of monetary situations, even though that would be great, but more because I want more people to be able to find what I'm doing and listen. I want to have a voice in a very big world. So if you want to help out. So once again, it's the DJ Hans shit show, and I want to thank everybody. Huh? No, wait. The DJ Hans. Wait. You're right, man. You see, it's people like you. And once again, DJ Hans shit show. Here we go.
I love it.
If anybody knows the name of this song, write it down. I want to see if somebody could figure it out, man. It's a great track. It's a really great track. I think, as a matter of fact, this is something like what Todd Turgey would play. This is very much his style.
I kind of have a little bit of an idea. I might be wrong. I know I'm wrong.
Go for it.
I know it's weird. I'm gonna say a couple names. Okay.
Go for it. Let's see.
Mantronic.
Okay, that would be close of an idea, right?
Okay, that's pretty good. I want to say Todd Terry, but it does not sound like Todd Terry.
No.
Okay, so
but Todd Terry took a sample from this one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That one's been stomping me, but it sounds a little. And I want to say it has that Mantronic vibe.
It does have that vibe. Those little sounds, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's somebody who will surprise you with his style because he's definitely from the 80s. He's made popular music, and he's made.
Don't tell me who it is. Don't say who it is.
I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna either somebody's gonna come up with it, or it's never gonna come out of my mouth. But he's made very cool music too. Something like the Peter Piper song. Take Me to Mardi Gras. You listen to that original, and you're like, man, that's a fucking cool ass track, and cool enough that Run DMC made a fucking badass, track out of it too.
Right. And the next thing is, it reminds me a lot of Run DMC, even though it's not.
They would have been the kind of group, and by the way, DJ Panic Panos is the one who actually introduced me to this song when we battled each other. And it was a thing that he would drop that first quick little that little sound, and he kept dropping it because he had 2 copies of it.
Nice. Gordy says Frankie Bones.
Nope. Nice try. Good names. Good names that would fit the the bill. But no.
I'm gonna stick with my Mantronic / Run DMC. I'll tell you what. Whoever it is has connection with Run DMC. How's that?
Okay.
I'm gonna go that far.
That's cool. You're wrong. I mean, unless I dig into some deep thing and find out that they were actually buddies or something.
Okay, maybe not. Okay, no, because we would have known if it was or wasn't. Okay, I don't know.
But
could we get a state? Where's he from?
New York. It was New York.
Okay.
New York is where he was popular. I'm not gonna say that I know for a fact that that's where he only lived. Maybe not.
Okay, that's fine.
But it's a he, and he's a DJ / producer, and that's as far as I'm gonna go with that. And
all right.
He had one of the coolest record covers ever made for one of his songs. Not that song, but it's in there.
Van Helden.
hey, love Van Helden, but no. That the only person that I think knows it for sure is Panic Panos. So, but don't tell him.
Well, of course.
Don't tell him.
Told you about it.
Yeah. And I fell in love with that track. And the actual this part. Wait. It's a different song, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I mixed those two together. I gave it the bam, 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 and then the which is something else.
That's just gonna make me lose sleep.
And that's gonna be the shit show fucking song for the ever. So if anybody ever comes out to me and I'm fucking making buco bucks and they're like, hey, yeah, but you gotta work on that intro, so I'm gonna go, listen, go fuck yourself. It's not gonna happen.
Go fuck yourself.
That's not gonna happen unless you tell me it's this one.
Oh no,
that's fucking that is. Motherfucking badass motherfucker out there. Listen, if the DJ world could thank somebody.
The guy that introduced me to that song looks like Kramer.
No shit.
Think about Kramer.
Yeah.
He's a disco guy from back in the day. He played that song and he started dancing that song. And when he starts, and then he goes, George, wait, there's more to the song. When that break came in, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
It's the dopest. Wow. Listen, it's the dopest breakbeat ever created. I don't understand. you know, how it came from where it came from, because, you know, it's a certain style, but then it's almost like they said, let the drummer go fucking nuts. And he...
So listen to this. You can play YouTube from there, right?
Maybe. See, I'm still getting... Maybe. Why? What do you got?
Okay. The remix that I heard from that, which is the one that I play, it's not a remix. It's a breakbeat song.
Right.
It's by, hold on, is it Gypsy Man? Hold on. Gypsy. Hold on. Gypsy.
Yeah, Gordy, I'm technically challenged. It's beyond that. I like to say this. I could probably do things, but I don't want to just out of nowhere click the wrong something, and then this show's definitely over. That could happen. So I don't want to do that.
Yeah, the song is well.
I don't want to end it like that, you know. But
I can't think of it right now.
Well, but it's one of the baddest breaks ever created, and you know, if you don't know who it's from, then you know you better go start figuring it out. I'm not gonna tell you either. So, you know, bam.
Yeah, no, that's good.
No, yeah, we're gonna leave those things open for the younger generation to find out certain things. You know, like, you know, with the biggest sample ever sampled in life, you know, and stuff like that. All those things that we old school people might have a clue on. Not all of us, but some of us. So, hey, once again, big shout out to my most coolest, dearest friend, the one paying the bills, Andy in the house. He is our sponsor. Yeah. All Permit Solutions Incorporated in the house. You need a sign. You need a sign for your business. You got a building. You need a sign, a big sign or a little sign. You need some sort of sign to show off that you are in business, that you're serious. That's the man to call. All Permit Solutions. You tell them DJ Hans and the Shit Show told me to call you because I just opened up some new donut shop and I want some fucking sign that looks like the donuts, but it's got the sprinkles on neons, and motherfucker's gonna build it for you. He knows what the hell you need to get done. So if you want to run your business correctly and you want a good sign for your business, which is the most important thing, it's like that first handshake. You want it to be proper. You want it to be firm. All Permit Solutions Incorporated. My boy Andy in the house, DJ Tropical. He knows what's up. So everybody,
Andy,
yeah.
I want to leave every time I'm on. I want to leave with two songs. I want to recommend an old song and a new song.
Go for it.
So my new song is going to be Shapeshifters, Billy Porter, Finally Ready. That's going to be my first one.
I know it, but I got to hear it again just to know why you love it so much, because it's great.
I love it. Oh, I did use it last time I was on. You're right. But yeah, I love that song. That's the new song. So now 3 weeks old, I think. A little bit.
Oh my God, Walter! Listen, Walter gave it up.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I would have never guessed that.
Jelly Bean Benitez.
Yeah, but that's not who made it.
Well, that's his edit, but that's the proper one. He actually.
Yeah, but you know what? I've never heard of Casso though.
And Casso, he or she. I don't know. I don't know exactly Casso, but I know that.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Amazing. The whole song from beginning to end, amazing. Instrumental. So now everybody knows. Let's give it up to Walter Capote for making it happen. He brought out the mystery meat.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
It's all right. Hey, we can still listen, Walter, since you already know that and everybody that's watching, they already know that. Don't give it up for the next one.
Yeah. Save that one for this one only.
Yeah. And my old school song that I got to recommend.
Go for it.
Massive Attack. Unfinished Symphony.
Oh my God, I don't know it. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. Massive Attack. Okay, I'm gonna have you text it to me.
Could somebody tag that in there?
Yeah, somebody tag it in because I have fat fingers and it's gonna take me forever. But yeah, tag it in. And if I could leave with one song that I would like to recommend to anybody and everybody in here, something classic, something Music is the key.
Music is the key.
Music is the key. That's just inspiration of music from 80s, housey, very back when, you know, pianos were cool and shit like that, and Frankie Bones, all that good stuff. Music is the key. From an old fart DJ in the house, DJ Hans, it's the DJ Hans shit show. And we had co-hosting and, you know, on the phone call, DJ Decade. We want to thank him for his inputs. Also, we have in the house Mr. DJ George Jet.
Yeah.
Vite. I got it right.
I like it.
Shout out
next time.
Go ahead.
Next time, my agent said that you have to say that with the echo, so please work on that.
Oh, bro, I you know, tell your agent to call me so I can get the whole list of information.
Yeah, he has to send you a payment, right?
That's right. That's right.
You have George? Hold on, I'm gonna have to pay you.
So everybody, right before you leave, do me a small favor and share the show. Share it to everybody so that at least maybe it gets out there, you know, and something happens in the near future and you can say you were a part of this greatness of a shit show. Once again, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. I'm so glad everybody made it out for the almost 3 hours of talking shit DJ edition. Yeah. It's DJ Hans, DJ George.
Can I get the last word?
Go for it.
DJ Tropical.
Oh, yeah.
I had to do that.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Party is over.